And welcome to the Starly podcast, where today Moore will not join until I at him and make a post about the podcast, you know? Hey, imagine making a post about when you go live. Couldn't be me.
Could it be me? I thought he made the post. He said he made the post so you don't have to.
Exactly, couldn't be
Easier.
me.
So you tweet it
Moral
out.
won't join podcast until I make a post. Come join and hear Starly rant about bad anime studios at Moral. Get in here, loser. Twitch.tv/Duilan. There we go. Okay, posted. Yes, that was exactly what I wrote, by the way.
I was thinking, I'm sure this is off. The tweet says the exact same thing what he's talking about.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to my audience, you know.
That's true.
I never lie. Yes. Okay. So as I was saying,
about
should I start with my topic before
you were talking before Moral gets here.
Yeah. So I was looking at like new bows, right? Like you know how, like carbon fiber is like cutting edge or whatever. Well, I was looking at a carbon composite, like a modified version of like a full carbon core for like my bow, right? And like the thing is, it's already stiff enough, right? Like it has enough carbon on it, so they reduced a bit of it and put bamboo, so that way like the tips are lighter, so it's even faster, right? It's not gonna be like as stiff for like higher weights or whatever if you're doing really high weight arrows, but that doesn't really matter because it's like just faster for like lower weight arrows, you know?
Yes.
And also better for hand shock and all that kind of stuff, right? So I was like, okay, but it's only currently like stress test for like higher like length bows, but I want like the shortest bow possible because you know how like shorter things are like stiffer, right? Normally, or
Yeah.
yeah. Well, like because like it's harder to like bend it because it's shorter. Like the arrows go even faster, right? So I'm getting the shortest bow I possibly can in like the Asian style, right? And then I'm getting like the most like cutting edge technology possible that I can find, right? So I can get the fastest arrow possible, right? And everyone's like, "Yo, this is a bad idea because it's so light because it's my bow right now is like around 60 inches, right? Which is like five something, right? Like almost my height, right? Like 5 feet, right?
Yeah.
Wait, actually exactly 5 feet, right? This bow, right, is gonna be like what is it? It's gonna be 50 inches, so it's like 4'2", you know, or not even 4'2". It's like it's like super light, right? So the dude's like, yo, here's a tip. This bow is gonna be really hard to aim because it's so light that it's gonna like fly everywhere, you know. I'm like, well, speed. um and that's about where I am right now. It's 50 inches and 75 of an inch, so basically 51 inch, right? Inch 2 feet. So that's like a good four and like one fourth foot tall bow, and that's like tiny, you know. It's not that tiny compared to what media depicts bows as, though, because like everyone looks at bows and they think it's like a tiny like 3 foot 2 foot thingy majig, right? But yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Okay,
Hello,
let's talk about
guys.
Gundam radio.
Gundam radio.
Oh no.
Is that even a thing?
No.
That's a thing. No?
In Mexico, it is apparently.
The Pepe was talking about Gundam radio, and I had no idea what was happening, man.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
Speaking of which, so this is a topic for me and Pluton, right? Basically Gundam Evolution just released, right? Which is like a new game or whatever. It's actually pretty decent, but it's just Overwatch. It's really slow though.
It's just Overwatch.
It's literally just Overwatch, right, Pluton?
Yeah, it's a mod to Overwatch.
It's Overwatch, but like I like the company more.
It's cooler, yeah, exactly.
Because like I would rather like be a mech than like the same like it's the same character 99% of the time, and then like
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I
Yeah, no, I
like
feel
Gundam
you.
Gundam Evolution more than Overwatch, but I don't really like Overwatch in the first place. I'm like, it's okay, you know.
Uh,
Um, yeah, that's what I'm feeling about it so far. I think Pluton's been enjoying it though.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
man, how would you rate it on a Gundam game overall?
Well, from a Gundam game, since most Gundam games are kind of trash,
It's pretty
Probably
decent for a
like a
Gundam
10.
game. Yeah.
but for like an Overwatch game, maybe it's like a 6 or 7.
Yeah.
It's really not bad. There's some balancing issues, but it doesn't have the polish that like Overwatch brought, because Overwatch is just basically a copy of Team Fortress.
Yeah. You know what my
And-
problem with it is?
Okay.
That it's like too slow to be like a fast-paced game, but it's too fast to be a like a slow-paced game. So it's not really anywhere, right? Like the Gundams feel like they're like made of like tissue paper, right? But they also don't feel fast enough to be like like a game which is fast. You know, like
Yeah.
it doesn't really have a niche. It's like just kind of there. It doesn't feel like robots. Yeah.
It's kind of the balance issue. They wanted to go for like a high-paced game, but I mean, it's literally Overwatch. So in order to get around that, what they did is they put heals all over the map, and you basically have to memorize exactly where they are. The whole entire thing is, if you run into like 2 or more other mechs,
Yeah.
you dead.
Yeah.
Unless you hide around the corner or something like that. But if you run it in a 1v1, literally it's just try and kill them as fast as possible, and if not, run away and grab a heal.
It's literally just a hit and run game, though. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you're a sniper, you can one-shot characters as a sniper. But like it's like the problem with me for the sniper is like the default like camera speed is so slow that I have to like triple it for it to like feel decent. Yeah, I played
Yeah, I can see
Titanfall. But yeah, no,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's what's going on me and Pluton's end. What is going on your end, Moral?
Any VTuber news more?
Wait, what? Can you repeat the question?
Well, what's going on in your world right now, Moral?
I mean, nothing really, to be honest. I'm just vibing pretty much.
Stop.
Bobbing?
No more vibe. Only anger.
Vibe is illegal now.
Yes.
Man.
No more vibe.
Yeah, it just
Only
got
anger.
passed yesterday. Only anger. You can only feel anger.
Yes. Oh, that reminds me. I think you would like archery.
That's not the
Moral.
Jedi way.
I think you would like archery, Moral. You seem like the kind of person to enjoy archery. Wait,
Do I really?
yeah.
Moral seems like she enjoyed chess. And
Yeah,
some play
Moral
chess.
seems like he would enjoy chess, but I enjoy chess.
I dislike chess.
Why?
Dislike shit. I don't even
I
know the
dislike
rules of chess
chess.
either. I'll be honest.
I enjoy mahjong for context, boys.
Like I'll play it, but you'll have to teach me how to play.
I dislike mahjong.
Mahjong's good, man. Yeah.
Chess is like you're a VTuber, or he hates it with a passion.
I hate VTubers.
Exactly. That's how Moral feels.
Yeah,
about it.
that's Tolan's gimmick right now. I mean, that's been his gimmick.
I do not like VTubers. If you are a
So
VTuber,
give
you
me
are
good.
banned from my chat.
He's a VTuber hater that became a VTuber.
Right?
No. I started
if
hating
I-
VTubers after I became a VTuber.
Okay, that makes more sense.
But yeah, you I think you would like archery though, because like archery is like a very like relaxed kind of thingy majig, you know? Like it's not like high paced gameplay. You just kind of sit in a forest and shoot arrows, you know?
Pretty relaxing. Be surrounded by nature.
I hate nature. That's why I shot a tree.
That's why I shot the tree.
The tree deserved it.
All trees should die. Global warming should be more global warming.
Global warming's good for
Fuck up the
trees. What are you talking
ocean.
about? Like the trees like global
the
warming because more carbon dioxide, you know?
I
All
guess yeah.
plants.
Yeah, plants like global warming. We don't. That's the thing, you know.
No, we do.
Was I
No,
don't know, but
we suffocate with global warming, man.
Uh,
I think we died with global warming.
you need like was it like 6 or 9,000 parts per million in order to suffocate and die from CO2?
That's
And
true.
And currently it's like 400. I think we got a lot of room to go.
That's true.
Yeah, I guess yeah. Well, let's better starting now than when we don't have time.
It took like what 70 years and the whole entire industrial revolution, nobody thinking about air pollution or anything, to go from 200 to 400.
That's true, but at the same time, we're producing like millions times more than during the Industrial Revolution. You know?
Are we?
And we're smarter.
I mean, like compare like the amount of factories we have now to like the factories we had during the Industrial Revolution.
I mean, a lot of factories just use electricity. I mean,
Yeah, but electricity still produces CO2.
It depends what the source is.
That's true.
I mean, if it's driven by like hydroelectric or solar or nuclear, then no.
Yeah, we need more nuclear plants. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, we definitely do.
Nuclear is amazing.
The whole world and nothing but nuclear plants.
I mean, if we did that, we would completely stop all air pollution.
Yeah, like unironically, nuclear like has like people like there's like disposal problems for like stuff like that, right? But, like aside from those, once we get that down, there's like no reason not to use nuclear, you know?
Put them in the ocean too. Yeah, fuck the ocean.
Don't dispose of things in the ocean.
No, don't do this.
The problem with the waste could be kind of fixed with fast reactors, which basically recycle like 99% of the spent fuel.
Yeah, and then the rest can be disposed normally.
Yeah, but the rest is like
barely as bad.
It's a tiny amount than what exists right now.
At the sun will get rid of our problem.
I mean, you're not. The sun is just a giant nuclear reactor.
Is it really?
That's all we need.
Kind of.
Yeah. Fusion.
I mean, if the Earth is too close to the sun, we'll all just burn. You know.
Yeah.
We'll just become bones.
I'm just saying, throw the Earth with the sun. I mean, I'll be down if we're going to do that, guys. In humanity, right?
If there's no humanity, there can be no VTubers. That's all I'm gonna say.
Maybe they'll exist on as AI.
we gotta kill the AI too, boys. We gotta kill the AI too. You know.
We gotta destroy the internet before they evolve further.
The AI VTubers that stream 24/7.
Wait.
Age, boys.
If there's an AI VTuber, right? Is it a virtual YouTuber? Like is it like a VTuber?
No, it's just still virtual.
A VTuber? What is that?
Yeah, but it's actually virtual
version.
though, you know? Like it's double layer of virtual. Cause like if I'm a VTuber, right? Because like I'm streaming as a virtual character.
That sounds cool.
Then it's like double VTuber.
No, you're just a pretend VTuber.
That's fair. That's because I hate VTubers.
Because you're not actually virtual.
Yeah, look at these pretend tubers. Not even actually virtual. Couldn't be me.
Man.
That'd be the day, right?
Yeah.
So all VTubers get kicked out for actual virtual AI.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Because like 99, no, well not 99, but like a good amount of like VTubers are like kind of weird, man. You know?
Hey, aren't we all?
I was about to say 99, but like I actually have like, a lot of good friends who are like normal people, you know. But then like
let me bump it down.
But then you see something every day on Twitter, you know.
Oh yeah.
I think I found the problem, guys. We gotta get rid of Twitter. That's the problem.
True.
Yes, get rid of Twitter.
We go back to no.
We need to get rid of Moral too.
Get rid of TikTok. Well, get rid of me. What?
You are the most problematic VTuber, Moral.
And don't put me and problematic in the same sentence.
We gotta cancel Moral as well. We gotta cancel
I guess.
Twitter and Moral.
Yeah. No, I mean, we cancel Twitter, you cancel everybody, including me.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
That means you're canceled too, Starly.
We're just gonna have to rebrand Moral.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna rebrand as a blue dog or something.
Purple dog.
Purple, a red dog.
Big red dog.
The big red dog.
Moral, you just need to buy like a $5,000 model.
My name is Cliff. Nice to meet
Me, $5,000 model? No.
Get a $5,000 internet then.
you.
Yeah, you think I had to invest in an expensive model rather than getting better internet? Couldn't be me.
Wait, are you like, is your internet basically free internet?
No.
How much does it cost, Moral?
Who gets free? Who gets free internet?
I would say probably like between like $25, $30.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Have you thought about getting a better router? Wait, you're on Ethernet, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no, Moral.
What's your up and down speed?
Down speed, I think it's at least like 5 down, and then up, I think it's like 0.5 or 0.6.
Don't they have like better plans?
Well, there's no fiber in my area apparently.
Yeah, but I mean, even without fiber, usually you can get at least like
Fiber
50
isn't
down
the only way to get fast internet, Moral.
and 10 up.
Fiber. It's all about fiber, baby.
Moral's like, it's either fiber or nothing, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not always about the money, Spider-Man. It's about fiber.
Yeah, forget upgrading my internet. Get the $5,000 model.
Yeah, that's why you eat bark, because you can get fiber, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, good one.
Do you have Cox?
What kind of question is that?
Whoa!
Cox Communications.
Oh, we got kids here, bro. Come on.
I don't even think we have that like where I'm at.
There goes our rating.
CenturyLink?
Starlink.
What is that? I gave you like different like ISPs that are not even in my area.
How about the T-Mobile home internet?
I didn't even really have that.
Yeah,
wait,
they have that.
Starly,
Check it
are
out.
you in like, or not Starly? Aren't you in like a big state? Like I know you're either Florida or California, right?
Have you ever heard me and East Coast in the same sentence?
Dox yourself.
I mean, you guys already know.
No, he's already told us. Like he told us
I already
honestly.
told you guys. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, West Coast.
Mara lives in Los Angeles.
I actually can't tell the difference between Florida and California. They're the same thing.
It's pretty easy to tell the difference.
But the thing is, the thing is, California is
just hotter, basically.
California is just off-brand Florida. Like that's all you guys are.
Nah, one has earthquakes, one has hurricanes.
Both of them are sinking to the sea soon, though.
Hopefully.
Florida more.
That's why California is off-brand Florida.
Florida also has what's it? HIV monkeys. They got island of HIV monkeys.
What?
Yeah,
Well,
that's why it's
Florida.
off-brand, cause like California has less stuff, you know. Like they're not sinking to the sea as fast. Like what are they doing, you know?
Being hippies. I'm joking.
It's kind of real.
Yeah, there's like 100 rhesus macaques in Florida that have HIV.
Damn.
It's one way to get monkeypox.
Yeah.
Monkeypox, damn.
Very true.
Yeah.
I don't think vaccines are even out for monkeypox yet, is there?
I don't know.
I don't think you gotta worry about getting it.
I mean, should we just worry
I'm
more about
on
COVID
East
then?
Coast. I'm vibing, you know, man.
But vibing isn't allowed here.
No.
You gotta touch someone to get monkeypox. You just gotta stay inside and never touch grass.
True.
Oh yeah, true.
Exactly. Always say I'm sorry.
That's why I do archery.
Swear.
No more melee, you know? No more melee.
You can shoot the monkeys at
You
range.
can
You
just
shoot the monkeys at range. Oh, God, get away.
Oh no.
What happens when the monkeys bring their own bow and arrows? What?
My bow's better. That's all.
The co-other podcast
What if they got? What if they got fiber bows?
means like that.
Well, I have like a better composite than them, or not yet. Sadly, I cry. Also, do you think monkeys
You
can
see?
pull back like a 50-pound bow?
If they really
Probably
wanted
not.
to.
They can rip faces off, so why not?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, monkeys hella strong. Like,
That's true. Wait, how long? Like, how tall is a monkey?
what type of monkey?
Like,
Yeah, if
like,
they got prehensile feet. They could probably like use a hand and a foot.
that's true. How stable can they get with that though? Like I would doubt it. You know.
Their tail could probably help them stable. Or
That's
some shit.
true.
We'll have
That's
to train a few to find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll take
teaching
some,
monkeys
HIV
archery.
monkeys.
Crack squad of monkey archers.
Yeah, can monkeys do archery? Yeah, that's a scary
Is this
shoot.
is this the
with
prequel to
HIV.
Balloon's tower defense?
Yes, this is how it happened.
This is how it happened, boys. How
And
does-
then the evil balloons took over. So,
did the balloons take over or did the monkeys take over? That's the real question. Because
I'm
the
not
balloons
sure.
are the attackers, you know. The monkeys are like defending, you know. Like unless they both
why
took
are
over.
monkeys defending against balloons? What a good
Like I feel like it should be the other way around, you know.
question. How do they get raided by a group of balloons?
I feel like
Are they like sentient balloons? Or like
the balloons don't even
I
fight
haven't-
back. They just walk along a pre-designed path, you know.
that's maybe it's a sport. Maybe it's just a sport, right?
That
Maybe
means
they're
the
not
balloons are sentient.
It's
Maybe.
like cattle. They're like cattle. They're monkey cattle.
How can balloons follow each other without having intelligence?
I mean, a string.
I don't see any strings in that game.
That's true.
Is it even true? I don't think the strings still exist in that world. Do we know?
Do they even have strings? Yeah. Real question. Like I don't remember seeing strings on them. Are we even sure that they're actual balloons?
No, they could be anything. Honestly,
They're not balloons. They're balloons. You know, like what the hell's a balloon?
It's an alien.
it's the alien
Yeah,
balloons.
Alien balloons. Yeah.
Better lore than moral
Alien
lore.
balloons.
Yeah. Except I don't even have lore. So.
Exactly.
That's
Let's
true. I
think up
guess
some. Let's think up some moral lore. Like why is Moral a cat and why does he talk?
Like, isekai.
It's like Meowth for Pokemon. He just learned human speech to impress a girl, and then she's like, "Oh, you're a freak." And then
You're like,
Lana went to college after.
what?
Is he blue because he's low in oxygen?
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
No, I'm blue because I've been feeling blue all my life.
Damn.
So, yeah. No,
Moral
he's a normal
depression
cat.
arc.
You coming up with some depressing lore, right?
He was a normal ass cat until the cat broke his heart, and he just turned from sudden.
It do be like that.
And then he got a PhD and he teaches moral stuff, moral psychology. That's what it is.
He listened to Eiffel 65, the blue song.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that too.
That's
I had that
his theme
rotation.
song. They run it for him, actually.
I listened to that song in my sleep, and then I reach ascendance.
Yeah. So I am blue. They're right.
Exactly.
This is now official moral lore, everyone. If you don't know moral lore, then you're not a real moral subscriber.
You're not a moral
Exactly.
supporter.
You know, exactly. You know, a moral supporter, right?
We need to get a better internet so I can do live streams.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that
need
would be fun.
One day.
That would be fun. Or moral could,
That'll be the day.
That'll be the day.
or we
Yeah.
could do some like co-op or something, and include moral. You know.
Something.
Yeah, borrow toy on the
We'll figure it out.
internet, basically.
We'll figure out
Moral.
something.
My internet can literally support you streaming as well. If you were like here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Can you support everyone shooting?
Well, my current upload speed is like pretty dang fast, man.
Alright, so
It's over 1,000.
Yeah, that means Starly can debut, huh?
how many people are in this chat? All of us are we're gonna live in your house, Toy. If that's
Yeah,
every single one of
co-weather house, yo.
cold weather house.
It's one of
So we
those like
just go
streaming
with-
houses, but just way less popular and like less like bad. You know, like we're not we're not like throwing parties during COVID every 5 minutes. You know.
We're actually pretty cool.
Cold weather house
Yeah, co-weather house. I'd be
where
down for
people
that.
forget to pay utilities.
Am I the Batman of of the cold weather house? You know.
I guess, yeah, maybe. if you really want to be, you can. All right, I'm a rant.
Yep.
for
Rant.
the next.
Alright, go for it.
I don't know if you don't know. If no one knows this, so Crunchyroll recently cut some of their dub
Yep.
voice actors for certain anime. One of them being his name is Kyle McCarley. He's a dub voice actor of Mob from Mob Psycho 100, and they cut him
Wow,
because
he's literally the protagonist. What?
Yeah.
I know it's weird. It's weird. So they
Yeah, it's
literally cut him because he wanted to be unionized by the SAG-AFTRA. They're like a good official union for like screen actors
Yeah.
and television and all that.
They really did just say
but
no
Crunchyroll,
unions.
they really said no, fuck you. We hate unions, and they cut him. They cut him, and they're recasting for a new like mob VA.
Yeah.
Apparently. It is. I found it like that's so wild that Crunchyroll is like, yeah, let's unionize
Yeah,
that shit.
Crunchyroll strip getting
What is that?
You like, yeah, Crunchyroll unions.
That's not well.
Unions. What?
It's like Crunchyroll when they hear
That's so
unions, and there's like some unions.
The thing
It's
I
like, bro, what?
the thing I've slowly realized, right, is that big companies have realized that like all the outrage on Twitter means nothing because 99% of like actual like viewers is gonna come from like the normies, you know, like the people who aren't like on Twitter 24/7, you know, where it's like like 99% of viewers, they will never hear about this drama, right? Like no matter how hard people scream on Twitter, even if every single Twitter user heard it, right, Twitter takes like a tiny demographic in all the anime base, you know.
It does, and I just think it's so wild. I just feel like the anime industry as a whole, like they treat their workers so horribly. Like I know at least in I think in Japan, when it comes to voice actors, they're basically celebrities, like they would be in the US.
Like the
But for
A-listers
some
like make more
reason-
money than like the developers, you know.
Exactly. But for some reason in the US, if you're a voice actor, you're kind of a nobody, which is kind of crazy. Like, oh, you
The only time
Because
you
I know
hear about US
recently-
voice actors is when they come out with a sexual harassment case.
yeah, with something crazy like this, or it's not like this, but something like that happens, and it's like bad news, and you're like, oh my god.
Like
But
if you want to be a pop like a good voice actor, you better hope that you never hear anyone recognize you, you know? Because getting recognized is like bad, you know?
yeah, no, it's kind of crazy that most English voice actors they recognize through like bad shit they've done in the past, so they just
Or something
be like,
if something happened to you,
what?
you know?
Yeah, they're like, oh my god.
But so the whole thing with Crunchyroll, it makes sense to me because I don't know of who's Crunchyroll's competitor here in the US that basically bought off most of the rights to tons of anime coming from Japan and other places.
Yeah.
So they're like a one-stop shop. So basically they control, I'd say, majority of the market share here in America. The second thing is that the voice actors are usually dubs.
Yeah.
There's almost no original work coming from the English side of things. So it's a lot different because I'd say that a lot of the dub artists, even though they may be widely known here, it's a lot of people still look at subs and they're just not as famous as like the original characters that they have over there in Japan.
Yeah.
Also look at a lot of the movies that are like animated and whatever else. They use known actors and actresses and stuff like that. so you know who those voices are coming from. It's a little bit different with the subgenre, and the whole entire thing really revolves around money. Whenever you talk about unions, you want to talk about like setting, certain rates of pay and stuff like that. And since
break
country,
times, etc., etc.
yeah, but it's mostly like pay grades and scales and sort of
Yep.
giving them more of a voice, let's say, if it's done right.
Yeah.
And it's directly against basically Crunchyroll making money or extra profits. So they're going to fight it hand and foot. Every single company that is private, except for some really decent ones, whenever there's a union thing, there's always a crackdown. You can look at like Amazon workers. Or
work at Costco. Just work at Costco.
Yep, they have like really good pay and everything. So
yeah,
that's
they don't
one
need
thing.
unions. Yeah.
And I hear a lot of funny stuff about like Tesla. That's another big one that doesn't have unions. But I also heard something that like they give stock options to workers, which is worth a hell of a lot of money. And if they unionize, then they have to get rid of all that. So that's kind of the pushback they have with that.
Yeah, like I understand like business why you be against unions, but at the same time, I feel like if you're gonna be paying your actors, at least give them like a good cut of
Yeah.
like what the like for example, let me look it up. So there's a recent this anime movie that came out. I think it was Jujutsu Kaisen, and they made like in the U.S. I'll look it up. U.S. money.
Yeah.
It was like I would say it's something a couple $1 billion or something like that, couple $1 million in the U.S. showing that. And one of the actors, her name is Anaris. She's on Twitter at Anaris_Q. She was paid a total of $150 just for voice acting. A whole movie, and that made like a good couple $1 million, which I'm like, I just find so wild to me. Like, I think even if like just because the movie originated from Japan, I don't think English voice actors should be like shafted that much and be only paid $150 for a whole ass movie that made a fuck ton of money. And they're
Yep.
like, yeah, this will be good enough for y'all. You can you can pay rent with that or some shit like that.
But just a question: was she a nobody, or was she like in the business for a while?
I'm just thinking
I'll
about
look it
nobodies
up.
from Kingdom
I'm
Hearts right
thinking
now.
I'm thinking she is because so she voiced she
Something
no,
I've
she's not a
realized, right?
nobody because she does actually have a lot of work from like My Hero, Pokemon, Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer.
Okay, so she's not like a nobody. That's kind of weird.
No, yeah, which is what I think is crazy.
Because a lot of people they would I've worked with some voice actors in my job a long time ago, and they get like normally if you get like real voice actors, they know how much they're worth.
Yeah.
They get something like how much was it? It was like $150 an hour sometimes, with it like being 8 hours for every single session, regardless if it takes 20 minutes or not.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of rates out there, but these are like they're not exactly super famous, but like they have a good sounding voice, and maybe they have like a radio show at one point in time, so people know their voices and stuff like that. And that's really big. But the funny part is, I noticed that a lot of the dubs they don't use a lot of famous people, and I think that's done on purpose. They'll just find somebody who will, accept a very low rate.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can see, because of
I've also realized that like a lot of like people who watch dubs don't really care about the quality either, Like the thing is like, if you really care about the quality, like 99% of anime elitists will be just like watch the sub, Well, because like because the companies do realize that they don't have to work crazy hard as long as you're not like speaking gibberish 24/7, right? I think most dub watchers would be like, oh yeah, this is fine, right? Because like dubs have gone way better, right? But like at the same time, people know that they can skimp out a bit and still be fine with it, Because like if you have like a particularly bad dub, like you're not gonna get any headlines for that, It's just gonna be like, oh yeah, the dub isn't great, just watch the sub, And Crunchyroll still makes money from the subs,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
the only reason to get dubs is to to get like the audience which already watches dubs anyways, and like people who watch dubs anyways, they don't really care because they're used to it. They're just used to the pain, you know.
Pain.
Right. I was actually talking in another chat. We were just gonna like sub versus dub. Ooh, we should better. And
It just
I personally
varies.
don't.
Honestly.
I really don't care either side. I'll watch both sub and dub. I don't care. But
The
I
one
just feel
which
like
pays the
for
users
most,
or like the people better, you know.
I feel like for at least early in like the anime industry, dub is how most people got into like
Yeah,
certain things, certain fandoms and shit. Because compared to now, I think anime is super way more accessible compared to like like back then, like couple 10 years or 20 years ago or something like that.
Oh yeah, totally.
yeah.
So I think dub helps people like especially kids who like they're probably not gonna comprehend trying to read subtitles in Japanese and like watching the TV show. So dub is pretty like like way easier for them to swallow
Yeah.
that type of media
Dubs are
compared to
only
like
like crazy useful for like what is it like the younger brand because like yeah,
mhm,
because like if you're going for Pokemon and you don't have a dubbed branch, what are you doing?
mhm.
You know, like
Exactly, yeah. Like
Yeah, what are you
you're
doing?
basically like you're wasting money at that point.
dubs are necessary for like larger not larger but like more
Franchises.
child oriented media.
Yes, yes.
Meanwhile, it's optional for everything else, so people just don't spend much money. Man.
And then I know there's I haven't really looked into this, but I heard that it's Marvel is like treating their I think VFX artists
Yeah.
horribly. They
I mean, why would they treat them
like,
nicely? You can just get VFX arted from like Twitter, you know?
yeah, it's true.
Hello,
But
VF.
I just find it so crazy because I want to be in this type of industry, and I just find it so crazy that people with the money are like, yeah, let's not treat these people as people and let them pay them the bare minimum, and then just have them go all out on a project. And I'm like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, it's a two-way street. They could always say no, but if they find somebody that'll actually accept it, that's kind of like, why are they doing that? That's the whole entire point of the union, honestly. A lot of unions, once they're in place, it's like you cannot negotiate without including the union.
Yeah.
Dude, that's why I I like unions because I feel like it helps people. Just in case of like if they were to be in that situation, unions can step in and be like, no, you're gonna have to pay them
Because like unions know
X
how to
amount
like do
for
that
this
stuff, right?
this yeah
Right.
They know
Yeah.
the rates, right? And knowing the rates is a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
powerful skill.
yes.
Well, that
So
and
that's-
also the group negotiation is always better than a single person negotiating.
yeah.
Power numbers and all that.
That's why I fucking rock with unions, and I always hold to myself. I don't I don't know how great this will be in like effect when I'm actually in the industry, but I'm like I don't care making like that like a fuck ton of money where I can like live in a mansion and do it. I'll take the bare minimum and I'll pay like my artists and all that shit
Yeah.
majority of the income. Like I really do not.
Yeah, I feel like especially as big companies with such like high like like
Mhm.
high profit margins, right?
Mhm.
It's kind of weird that like voice actors don't get paid that much because like they're not animating the anime, right?
Yeah,
Like they're not animating the anime itself. They're just like dubbing over it. Like you got the translator, you got like maybe like the direction dude, right? And then a bunch of other
Yeah.
things, but like they're not spending half as much on the anime, and they're still reaping a bunch of profits.
yeah, they are. Yeah, it's which is I'm like I just don't understand. It's like because I know a big fucking company is Disney. Disney does a lot of horrible shit when it comes to their workers.
Oh
And
yeah,
I'm
Disney
like,
is another
bro,
story.
you make
Yeah.
so much money and you can't spare some fucking cash, like work. And I just don't get it. I really don't. I really do not understand it because
It's a question of like, are they Are they paying people badly because they're big companies, or are they big companies because they're treating their people badly?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is
It's
it the
really
chicken or
just
the egg? You know, like
yeah, it's really interesting because like if I was in that position, I don't care how much money I make. If I can scrape by and maybe buy like an extra, like oh maybe I could spend $20 extra today.
maybe
Be
I
fine
don't.
with that.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like if I was the director, I'd be like, hey, maybe I don't need this extra yacht. I could just pay people decently.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
nah, nah.
yeah.
I want
So
that
like,
yacht. You know, I want my eighth yacht. You know.
I need 8 yachts to my name, right? And a big ass mansion that
Yeah.
I never live in.
So the thing is, with really big companies, you're talking about publicly owned, and there's a fiduciary responsibility to give the profits basically back to the shareholders.
Yeah.
So they will basically, like, their mandate basically is to
Get every ounce out of them, so that way they can pay the shareholders their dividends.
exactly. So the problem is that if people are willing to accept a certain amount of pay, I mean, you can look on like what is it, like Indeed or something, for specific titles and what the salary should be and whatever else, and it's based on like location and everything. There's almost no reason to pay more than that.
Yeah.
In a certain given industry, because you can always find somebody around that figure to make. But if you're a big company, overhead is a very, payroll overhead is a huge part of your company.
Yeah.
If you can skimp on that to pay your shareholders more, then you will.
Yeah.
That's just unfortunately the reality of it all. If it's a small company and you own it, there's a lot of small companies that pay their workers very, very well, and they get like buy and everything, and it's perfectly fine. But in a big company like that, it's almost like a faceless entity that's uncaring. In the most cases, it's just out to make as much money as possible.
Stockholder interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, stockholders are kind of interesting because, like, on one end, as someone who owns stocks, I'm like, yeah, give us more money, right? On the other end, damn, you should pay your workers, you know?
For the stock you don't own.
Oh yeah, if I don't own the stock, it's fine. If I don't own the stock, yeah, pay your workers as much as possible, you know? Like yeah.
This robot.
Ooh, robot? Where?
Beep boop, beep boop.
Starly sounds like a robot.
I'm sorry. I was reading someone's messages in the chat.
Yeah, robots know how to read. Damn.
Wait, there's someone in the chat?
Yeah. My name is Eri Naku, and they said, if you want to make good money, you start your own company, make quality content when you're getting paid way less than what you're worth. Grow it because you're giving quality cheap. Then start making money with your company. Then they'll eventually buy your company out, and that's how you get paid decently.
Getting your company bought out is the only way to get paid decently. You're not wrong.
Yeah, it's basically entrepreneurship in a nutshell.
The reason like economically why entrepreneurs get paid so much is because they're like taking all the risk if their company goes down, right? But at the same time, like, some of you guys are getting too much money. Give me some, thank you.
Give me some of that, man. Come on.
Like I get it. You're like hedging all the risk and everything, right? But like, I want some of that money too. Give me some of that money, thank you. You know?
I think we should destroy the 1%, guys. We should take all their money.
No, instead of destroying the 1%, just turn the 1% to me. That's all I want. Thank you.
Turn the 1% into being the bottom. Can we flip the switch?
No. Just give me all the money, and I'll use it ethically, quote unquote.
Don't give this man money. Don't give
quote unquote, whatever that means.
If you make this man a billionaire, he's crazy shit is gonna happen.
Ethically, quote unquote.
This about to be the Squid Game or something.
I can't guarantee your sakes.
Oh god. Yeah, Squid Game too. You see toy line there.
I can promise you that if I was the 1%, there would be no one suffering. Possibly.
Possibly.
How would they possibly see an option?
It's a possibility, you know.
It's a risk they gotta.
I mean, like, yeah.
If there are no
Like,
people,
alright,
there
so we
can be
can
no risk.
we,
Yeah, if you have enough money, you really don't need to work. You just kind of sit on dividends.
Yeah, that's true. That's my goal. One day I have enough money that I can like just live off dividends forever. You know?
yeah. Mm. I think this what I was taught today is take an intro to business class
Yes.
before I get into this industry.
I mean, you really should take an intro to like economics class at least, right? Because like intro
Uh,
to economics classes will teach you how to like do your taxes and like
uh,
do basic investment,
oh
right?
yeah, no,
And
I have
like
no
do all
idea
that
how to
kind
do
of
that
stuff,
stuff.
right? Because that kind of stuff is actually pretty important, you know? Because like yeah,
I should be teaching that in high school, bro. Come on.
bro, I learned that in middle school.
Did you, bro?
Yeah, I took the intro to economics class in middle school.
I don't think I had intro to. I don't think we had economics at all. We had like a quote unquote. I guess like it was kind of like an intro to economics, but it's kind of just a BS class you could easily pass.
Oh yeah, I had classes like that
It
in
was
high school.
100% a
Yeah,
BS class you could easily pass. I just
yeah.
I actually did work in it, you know, because I wanted to learn things, you know.
That's what you're
Look
supposed
at
to do in
you.
classes.
Well,
Yeah.
they're supposed to teach you. You're not supposed to look up extra information.
No. I tried to like actually like listen to their material and like do extra work where I could, right, so I could learn things, you know. Because like you can 100% half-ass things and like like pass the test and everything by using basic common sense, but like if you actually apply yourself, then you can get stuff, you know. But I'm one of the lucky few who had it like offered in middle school, man.
Uh,
You know, you know, it's nice.
if I could change the past, I would not.
You should Starling, I'm sure if I offered middle school you, hey, can do you want to take an intro to economics course, right? You wouldn't say hell no, right?
Yeah, no, but middle school people like, bro, what the fuck, economics?
I'm pretty sure 99% of people who complain about that, like they have like the chance to take something like that, or like or at least learn it, but like they don't care at that point in time, you know. And then when you
That's true.
actually care about it in that point in time, you don't have the time to do it.
They're like, fuck. Now I should have took the intro extra economics. God.
Most people should learn about like economic literacy and stuff like that, like at the minimum, you know, like you really should.
Yeah, everyone needs that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Eventually, everyone will have some money to spend or make some money.
Yeah.
You gotta know how to use it correctly.
Yeah. A lot of time I would just suggest investing most of your spare cash if you can, but only the cash that you can afford to lose, you know? Like if you're barely making rent and have like zero other living necessities, or like you're starving every other day, right? Don't invest. Try not to starve first, you know? But like after you have said money, right? You know, after you have some money, you should think about it, right? You should consider the possibilities, you know.
What do you mean I can't spend all the money I get automatically on non-necessary necessity?
Unironically, there are some people who like spend 0% of their thing on like investments, even though they have enough money, and then they're like, "Oh, why don't I have enough to retire?" And I'm like, "Damn, I wonder."
Well, there's 401ks and stuff like that you can just max out.
Exactly, you should max out your 401k. Yes. But
like when you have enough money, you should convert it to
legally or illegally. How can I max out my 401k?
No, it's like a legal process. Like a lot of like retirement plans and like long-term jobs, right? Your work will actually like match your contribution to your 401k, so like it's basically free money, you know. Like the more you invest in your 401k, the more money they give you, right?
How can I max it out in a short amount of time?
Maxing it out basically just means taking some money out of your paycheck for now, right, and then putting it into your retirement later, you know.
Yeah, they changed the maximum you can put in there because you can't like put how much you want. I think it's increased over the years from like 12,000 to 17.5 or something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, because like 401ks are basically like, like general investments which are like fairly safe, right? But they also like, give you decent returns and, whatever else. It's something important to consider,
Yeah, because when you
Tax
hit like,
fraud.
what's the retirement age? Like 65 or 55 or something like that?
Which
And you
for
retire.
Merle is like 5 years ago.
But when you retire, you got to live off of basically what you have or what you've saved up for retirement.
Yep, unless you want to keep working past the general retirement age, because you're not forced to retire, but like, most people
In some
want
places
to.
you are.
Some places you go get your ass out of here.
No, I mean, there's it's like ageism or something like that, but a lot of places don't want to hire like really old people.
I wouldn't want to hire an old person either.
But what if they're a really good old person though? Like they were way better than any new people coming out of college or whatever.
I mean, there's some specialized branches where that is useful, but like if I was like in the construction business or whatever else, there's a lot of businesses where like old people can't do stuff, But like,
yeah, physical demanding or even technology where it's advancing too fast. If you get like a 60-year-old guy is like, yeah, I can be like a software engineer, people be like, but we don't have cobalt jobs or something.
Yeah.
But
like, sometimes
he made Apple.
I mean, if you were Steve Jobs, yeah, but like you're Steve Jobs, even if you were like 500 billion years old, right? People would still hire you, But like the thing is like sometimes like people who are like older do have more experience, right? Like in crafts jobs, right? Maybe there's someone who's more qualified, right? If you're in like if you're in like a legacy coding branch, right, where like only people from like whatever know how to like code in BASIC or whatever, right? Then maybe you're a good hire, right? But like like it's definitely gonna be like a problem in some fields, might be a benefit in others, Cause like if I was if there was like a 50-year-old dude, I'd be like, yeah, you probably know a thing or two. But if he was like 90, I would be like, yeah, you might not know how to program in like C++ or whatever, C#,
And then they did. But then, what are you doing?
Do you really want to have a 9-to-5 job when you're 90 years old?
Probably not.
You could. I don't know.
Some people are forced to,
I
though,
don't, at least.
Wait, what if they want to? What if they would have worked their whole life and then died doing their job?
I mean, if that's what they want, then fine.
There's some workaholics out there, but most people want to enjoy their retirement. They don't want to have to work if they don't have to.
A lot of the goal for like those who do still want to continue working after like retirement age is that like they have enough money that if they were fired, they won't be like, oh, can I feed myself tomorrow? Because like if you're living paycheck to paycheck, that's never fun, right? Especially if it's harder to get a job. But like if you're younger, right? That might be fairly more normal, right? Because you're not 50,
Yeah, that's what my advice to everyone is. If you're like in college and thinking about what to major in, do some research on like what kind of jobs you can get afterwards, and basically if people like that kind of job or whatever else, just going into college being like, oh, I really want to do this special thing, but there's no jobs for it, then what is the point?
My advice also is that like if you're in college and I've never taken like an intro to economics course, there's 100% gonna be like something in your college that generally touches upon like investment and like preparing for retirement and like good economic practices, like the fastest way to pay off your loan or like the most most psychologically effective way, all that kind of stuff. Like there's like the snowball method, right, where you start with like the smallest loan and you pay with like to like the highest loan, because that way it's like more like psychologically progressive, right? Because like you're paying off your small loans first so you can see the progress, right? Because instead of like having like 50 loans, you might have like 40 loans, right? But like the other which is like the more mathematically sound strategy is like the avalanche method, where you take off like the highest loan first, but that's often also like one of your biggest loans too, right? Which makes it a bit no, this isn't like financial advice, but like it is like useful information to know if you're like looking into it yourself and all that, right? But like if you're paying off your loans and everything, you should always start like in my opinion, right, you should start off with like your highest interest thing and then pay the minimums for everything else, so that way like you're not accruing more money that you need to pay off later, Because if you can pay off your highest interest one, that's just less interest rate in the future, you know.
Yeah.
But not everyone should take that path, because sometimes if you're chipping away at like a $500 billion loan, right, and you have like a $5 loan, it might be a bit depressing seeing that you have like 20 loans, you know,
Yeah.
even though those smaller
Yeah.
loans are like a fifth of the size, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, but like don't just like pay off your minimums for all your loans and only your minimum, you know, unless you have to, right?
Just don't go into debt if you can help it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just be careful with taking out too many loans.
Everybody.
Don't take out a loan for like things that won't, like, you know, won't help you in the future, right? Like, don't take out a loan for that like $5 action or like $500 action figure that you really want of like your anime waifu, you know. Don't do that.
That's horrible.
But
there are unironically people who do end up making that decision though.
I would say there's only 3 types of loans that are acceptable. And
my
that's
Corona figure, my $2,000 Corona figure.
that's your house, car, and maybe schooling.
The very like some
house, car, anime figures, got it.
No.
Yeah, sometimes people do take out loans for like investments too, but like that's a very risky hedge right there, you know.
Oh, I would not do that.
I would not do that. I would not do that. I'm just saying that people do it, you know.
You're better off betting on Papa's little mustache on the 3rd.
Yeah, it's officially called leveraging for what people are what I'm talking about, right? Where people like take out a loan or whatever for like something, right? And then they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put in an investment and hope it pays off more than like the interest, and then pay back the loan, you know.
No,
that's a very risky thing to do. Don't do that.
Because a loan always has interest.
Exactly. Yeah. Or like it's like they buy multiples of things, and then it's like, oh yeah, you're gonna go into so much debt if this thing fails, you know.
Because the stock market's gambling.
Yeah. That's how you start gambling the stock market instead of investing, you know. Don't do that. Don't leverage. Unless like unless you have like some insider knowledge or whatever, but then that's insider trading, you know.
No, the only time you really want to leverage if like you have a company and it's in you know, it's having problems, but you see like the end of a light or something like that.
Yeah, that's like an investment, but like it's still a gamble. But like you know,
but you're gambling on your livelihood basically.
Yeah. So you're gonna get you're if it doesn't go through, you're getting messed up either way. So might as well give it higher.
You might as well go in for broke, basically.
Literally. But don't do that with like normal investments. Like if you've lost 90% on like this investment, don't like pay another 90 like stocks on it, you know. And I'm
gonna buy out Disney World, guys.
Yeah. Know when to cut your losses, you know. No, this is just general thoughts of like random people on the internet. Don't take it as financial advice. Don't like take this as like, you know, like what you should do with your money, right? Like if you hear any good sounding advice here, please do take it with a grain of salt, and then like further on like investigate it on your own time and like see, oh yeah, this is a horrible idea. These guys are giving me horrible advice. Worst thing ever, you know? Yeah.
And that is the moral of the story.
Starly World, and it's gonna be like a roller coaster tycoon where people die on their roller coaster.
Isn't that just isn't that just Roller Coaster Simulator?
Well, that too, yeah.
Oh, but yeah. Even if it's not your major, do take an economics course, Starly, please. I beg.
I would.
It's like it's useful information, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
Luden, are you into economics? Like, is that why you're here? Like, what is that why you know this stuff?
Me?
Yeah.
What part of economics?
When you were born.
Like, is your field economics, or are you just like?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm in like programming and software development.
Do you know that there's actually a very high population of like archers and or whatever who are programmers? Like on like one of like the archery discords I'm in, right? 6 out of 8 people are programmers.
I can see that.
6 out of 8.
The archer population is like 90% like programmer Starly. It's because they have nothing else interesting about them. And by that I mean I'm also a computer science major. Yeah.
Bro, I got no cool hobbies. I gotta go pick up something real quick. Archery, okay.
That's why so many hikers
Go
are
missing.
programmers. No,
Are
well that too. Well that too.
And they can't program their way out of a forest, so that's they get lost.
I mean, if they manage to like program like like a satellite dish, you know.
Yeah, with sticks, twigs, and mud. Very red satellite.
Imagine you're a plane flying over, but instead of using like smoke signals, they're like saying help in binary.
Bro,
You mean Morse code?
No, just binary. Like they're using the on and off as like smoke, no smoke.
Sticks don't have on and off.
Smoke signal.
You can't see individual smoke things from sticks unless they're spread way far apart.
That's true.
You could try.
I mean, if you got that many sticks, why not just spell it out?
Then what you major for? What do you spend all the
major in binary?
I should spend all those years in college for binary.
Hello, Moldy. Join the VC, man. Join the VC.
Even assembly languages in hex.
I'll just don't get lost. Right?
I mean, that is good advice. If you're hiking, just don't get lost. Also, damn, Moldy's not joining VC. It hurts, man. But yeah, tangent aside, right? Tangent aside, do not work for Crunchyroll. That's all I'm hearing.
Yeah, fuck Crunchyroll. We don't want your sponsors anyway.
Rooster Teeth too.
Rooster Teeth too. Do they have a business?
Burns down to the ground.
Wait, Rooster Teeth actually went out of business.
I don't know. I heard a lot of stuff that they were having problems.
Yeah, they've had a few problems here and there.
A few.
Why is Rooster Teeth falling apart?
They have a really dedicated community though, from what I've noticed. Like they have like a really dedicated community for like Ruby, you know?
Oh, that's the only thing keeping it alive. That's the only thing. I think Ruby got a like an actual animation as well.
Oh yeah, I've heard about it.
I heard that one's pretty good.
Okay. Oh, apparently Moldy owes you money, Moral.
What?
Moldy says that he owes you money.
Owes me money? I don't recall that.
Damn.
Sorry, Moldy, you can pay it to me. I'll make sure Moral gets that money.
Yeah, that's very immoral of you, Starly.
No, I'm very moral. You're not trust me with your money, Moral. I promise I'll get it back to you safe.
Yeah, you get the manager cut. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I get the manager cut, bro. I gotta buy my $200,000 Corona life size figure.
What are you gonna do with that life-size figure right there, Starly? Oh no.
I'm gonna buy an even bigger jar.
So I saw one of the life-size Lucario figures, right, on like Twitter or whatever, right? And I was like,
that.
yeah, let's scroll through the comments, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
That's a bad idea.
This is why Pokemon are not real, because they need so many laws about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a reason why Pokemon don't exist, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, no, that was a scarring
Really go
experience.
extinct.
That was a scarring experience. Like you know.
I bet that's I feel like it's on Twitter. You just roll like, am I gonna get scarred today, or am I gonna see a cute little video?
It could be both.
That's true, right? Yeah.
It could be both.
It could be both.
Like I could see.
That's so cute. Oh my god.
I could see like Moral reacting to a cute video, and then I could also see Moral, and that would be scarred. Damn.
Damn.
But yeah, no, Twitter weird.
Very weird. VTuber Twitter, yeah, it's
Not just VTuber Twitter, all Twitter.
All of Twitter weird. I'm in the weird Twitter as well. That shit weird.
Yeah, you're in the VTuber sphere, or whatever sphere you're in now.
I'm in the VTuber manager sphere.
That's even worse.
It's horrible, right? All they do is talk about numbers. I'm like, bro, come on.
you're in the Corona ski.
Numbers are fun though, Moral, or not Moral. Sorry.
I'm like, bro, I don't care about that. What's your favorite? Who's your favorite idol you've managed? I don't.
Which idols have you managed? I think you only jokingly manage the podcasts.
Top 10 idols you managed. Yeah, I managed this dude called Toyline. He runs his cold blooded.
If there's like a total like 2 people in like the world who manage over 10 idols, like real talk, like it's like Yagoo, right? And then like, you know, whoever runs Niji Sanji. Like, does anyone know who's runs Niji Sanji? Like, does anyone know?
I don't know. It's like the president of Niji Sanji.
It's like
2 guys. It's called Mr. Niji and Mr. Sanji.
oh no.
That makes sense. Let's
You gotta
Niji
follow the
Sanji,
CEO on Twitter.
CEO.
Of Ninja Sanji.
His name is Tazumi.
Yeah, Tazumi. Yeah.
Tazumi.
Riku Tazumi.
Looks like a normal ass dude. I'm gonna be honest.
Does Yagoo not look like a normal ass dude? Like, what are you saying here?
No. Yako is completely different.
You're talking about Yagu best girl, dude.
Man.
Look at this, but you tell me you go down the street, you're like, oh, that's the Niji San CEO. You would not know it would. No, yeah, go,
You have a
right?
point there.
You're like, oh my god, is that Yago from Hollow?
You sure that's not a Korean guy?
I don't know. He couldn't be.
You could put like real talk. You put like 20 Asian dudes like next to each other. I could not tell them apart. I'm sorry. I can't tell people apart, man. Like I literally identify people by their hair. Like if you change your hairstyle IRL, I will not be able to recognize you until I hear your voice.
You're gone.
I literally identify people by their hair.
You're not real anymore.
True.
You're a whole new person. Curse. Look at this person who's just fucking.
I'm just really bad at faces, man. I'm just really bad at faces. Also, I'm
bad at names. I can remember faces. I just suck at names. I was like, yeah. I know who you are.
Oh no. Moldy was watching videos from a creator and our names are super similar, right? So now he can't watch the creator anymore. Good. Only watch me, Moldy.
There can only be one.
There can only be one person you watch. I sound like one of those idol VTubers where they're like, oh yeah, I'm the only idol you can watch, and I'm like, okay, you know.
But they say it jokingly, and then the fans take it literally.
Is it joking though?
I hope sometimes.
Part of the time, yes.
Some whackers out there. I can't talk for.
Ari recognizes shoes. What happens when like the 8 dudes wearing black Air Forces come in like the same room? You know, like if you recognize people by their shoes,
he looks at the textures, right? Like, this one's scuffed up on the left. That's definitely Ryan. These black Air Forces, no shoelaces. That's a bin.
Yeah. Also, Ari identify. Oh wait, what do you identify as? Like, I think Ari goes by she her, but I'm not totally like sure there, you know. But like, yeah, no.
Give us your top 10 pronouns, right?
I only look at people's faces when I want to stare them down. Like I don't like keeping eye contact normally, right? But if I do keep eye contact, it will be unflinchingly painful. I promise you guys.
I hope you meet another person who is also like that, like caught in a
Stare down.
ass stare down, yeah.
Yeah, like I'll like avoid eye contact, but if I notice you keeping eye contact with me, I'll be like, nope, I'm gonna stare you down until you stop. It works, surprisingly.
What if they don't stop? What
Then they die.
then they die with what if you die instead? What then did
They're
they
not
take over your
powerful
toy?
enough.
They take over your body? Is that,
like it's just like
Are
some
you
body
even
stealer
toy?
stuff.
Are you even our original toy?
What does it mean to be original?
I mean, there's toy and then there's toy lines, Which one's the real one?
And there's Body Snatcher toy line.
There's
I'm
Twilight
better.
Junior.
If all the toy line talks about is archery, then that's the real toy line.
What if the Body Snatcher also talks about archery?
Oh, okay.
Then
So
what?
area identifies by top 10 and number 10 T-Rex. Got it.
We're not Sasibaka.
Identify
Among
as
Us?
top 10. Okay, alright.
Among Us, Sasibaka, Among Us.
You identify as a Mong and Gus.
I identify as Among It.
I identify as sus. No.
As
Someone clip that. Someone clip that.
I'm an imposter. I'm a sussy.
The thing is, no matter like the things fall up so fast that people will get the context, moral. Like you cannot make clips under 5 seconds. I'm sorry.
Damn.
Original character do not steal. But Ari, what are your actual pronouns? Because like I don't want to like actually misgender you, because like I'm not totally sure, Unless those,
unless they're real.
unless they're real, then I'm sorry.
Bro, I can't believe you just did.
Hey, you gotta normalize asking for pronouns.
We gotta cancel Toilet now.
Okay, okay, okay. I'm glad I didn't like completely misgender you. Legend in the making. Okay, Ari. But yes. What were we talking about again? I don't really remember, man. Oh yeah, I don't like Crunchyroll.
Yes, fuck.
I don't even have Crunchyroll, and nor would I even want to get Crunchyroll.
Do you like buttered rolls?
No.
Ooh, butter rolls so good.
I prefer croissants.
That is a buttered roll.
It's not a roll, it's a horn shape. They're different. I've never seen a croissant roll.
What does Google say roll? Roll definition.
Have you ever seen a croissant roll? It will not roll because it's not round. Am I wrong?
From Wikipedia, croissants are named for their historical crescent shape. The dough is layered with butter, rolled and folded.
Well, it's rolled past tense.
Yeah, it's rolled. There's no past tense of a roll.
It's gonna be currently rolling.
Rolled. It rolled down the hill. See? Past tense.
It's gotta be present tense rolling. Can you pass me those rollings?
If a rolling pin stops rolling, is it still really a rolling pin?
Yes.
It's a pin. At that point, right?
No, let's not talk about rolling pins. Even though you know.
I don't know. Did
You don't
Twitter
know.
do something? Did they?
Yeah, Twitter
Is it
did
like
something about bowling pins, yes.
Oh, the bowling pins. Oh, I thought you were just talking about rolling pins.
No, they bowling. Oh, you didn't say
No, I know the bowling pin one. Okay, I was like, bro, wait, what are they doing?
Yeah. Okay, real talk. The Ari says talk about the philosophy of Boruto. Don't care, didn't ask. I don't like Boruto.
Oh.
Because I don't like children.
Ratio
Children
plus,
are weird, man.
I eat dirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dirt is nutritious.
I mean, I've heard people actually somewhat like Boruto now, but like it's like the people who got past like the part which everyone hates, you know?
They're still kind of ass on the I don't know.
Yeah. The most
I might be in
interesting
the echo
thing,
chamber.
the most interesting thing about Boruto, right, is the season prior.
Yes.
Am I wrong?
Boruto, the coming of age Naruto.
Naruto had like a rough ass childhood, man.
I think it's like every anime protagonist, like they got fucked up backstories.
The thing
And
is,
you're like, bro,
Boruto is Naruto.
what
If he had
happened?
the thing is, Boruto is Naruto. If he had like daddy issues, right? Naruto never had those because he didn't have a daddy.
Yeah, parents,
Am I
parents
wrong?
issues 'cause they were dead.
Yeah, Dad.
You said it.
He was dead.
Well, he still had one. Just
Had.
dead one.
It's just a dead one. You didn't even know his dad was like the Hokage.
I don't
until
even
he
knew that his dad existed. Like,
Wait, I don't really understand that whole entire part. Could you explain it? Like, why did no one tell him that his dad was a Hokage in the past?
because
I
they
don't
would.
know.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's so weird. They're like, oh, we can't tell. And his face is like on the Mount Rushmore Naruto shit.
Okay.
And I'm like,
Okay. Yeah.
I'm like,
Wait. Look.
Koki's like, hey, that looks like me or some shit. Or like, did he have pictures of his family? And he's like, oh shit, that looks like my dad.
No.
I
The
don't
thing is,
understand it. It's kind of forced the whole thing that he had like no parents and like he was made fun of and
I'm
shit.
pretty sure it was an afterthought. Like I'm pretty sure his father being like the Kage was like kind of afterthought. You know.
Oh, you mean they like wrote it in?
I mean, like the entire thing about his
Maybe.
childhood was like the in-world explanation, right? Is that they didn't want to treat Naruto differently because his father was the Kage, so they never told any of the children, right? But
So
everyone
just made him bullied and like made fun of constantly.
Like,
Yeah.
bro, he's
Yeah.
got
Like,
that
that's good.
nine-tailed fox in him. Don't bully this motherfucker.
I mean,
Who cares if his dad was the Hokage?
even like the first arc, they tried
No.
killing him.
yeah.
This is so fucking ridiculous. And like this is like the son of the Hokage who like killed himself for the village and shit.
The thing is, if
Yeah.
you kill him, right, you're releasing the giant ass fox, which will kill everyone too, right? It's in your best interest to make sure.
The thing is, why do you gotta bully him though? It's like he didn't ask to fucking to have the fox.
I
Yeah,
think-
if anybody would have just told him, hey, like, you know, your dad is like super powerful and famous, and so is your mom. It would have taken a whole entire different story, basically.
yeah. And like the entire thing about it is right, like it's like, oh, we don't want to tell him that like his parent, like, you know, his parents died, blah 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 blah, or like we're the Hokage because we don't want him to get bullied for like having the giant ass fox in his belly, right? But like the thing is like you're still mistreating him like really badly, and no one's stepping in to do anything about it, you know? Like it's like, oh yeah, we'll let the kid get bullied even though his parents are dead, you know? Like it's like, why? You know?
Actually, what you said before, if he dies with the nine-tailed fox in him, doesn't the nine-tailed fox die?
No, it just escapes, I'm pretty sure.
But then why would the nine-tailed fox ever lend him strength?
I don't know,
It's
man.
because his dad trapped him in Naruto.
Yeah, but if Naruto dies and he escapes, why the hell did he ever decide to help Naruto? He would have just like made him commit suicide and gotten free.
The first section actually isn't like in the original season, right, where he like first. Okay, we're getting to Naruto lore here, but like for the first part, like the fox actually didn't want to help him. I'm pretty sure like he could just like steal power, you know?
he was.
Where he went like
he
out of
didn't,
control
like-
or whatever, because like, you know, Fox is kind of getting his power stolen from or whatever, you know. So it's like wild energy, blah 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 blah. So I don't think it's a choice, you know. Like I don't think it's a choice. Like the fox is just like, nah, I don't want to help this kid, but like just as passive aura is like 50 billion times stronger than Naruto, you know?
I don't know. I could have sworn they said something like, "Oh, you need to help me because something happens to me, then you die too."
Oh yeah,
And then,
eventually that happens.
I think maybe it does. I don't know. I'll find that.
I do know for a fact that early season Naruto though, like the fox didn't want to help him, you know? But like he got the power anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did it. Yeah.
And then the fox sacrifices itself for him. It's like, bro, no, why?
Yeah, though he dies later, so like Naruto does not have the fox in Boruto. Spoiler, sorry.
The problem with it being a spoiler is no one wants to watch it anyways.
That is true. I think that's also a reason people do not like Boruto because that.
I
And
just
they're
love it
like,
because
bro,
it's like massive filler in the front,
Oh
the
yeah,
first
no,
part of it.
it's 99% filler. But then
okay,
again, Naruto
oh yeah,
is filler too. like Shippuden,
Naruto has a bunch of
50%
filler.
filler
Yeah,
minimum.
Yeah, but
bro,
Naruto,
even regular Naruto is.
Naruto has decent filler though. That's the difference.
but it didn't
That's
start
true.
with filler.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Boruto started with filler, as far as I remember. That's why I
Yeah.
tuned off after like the first 12 episodes. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is this whole entire thing about?
Bro, what the fuck?
They're just like introducing families and stuff from the old show and trying to get people to watch it, but there's nothing exciting going on. And then like 50 episodes later, they start to get serious again. I'm like, I don't want to watch up to episode 50.
Where was this fucking shit when they was starting? What the?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, 100%. Sometimes when you're watching like media like this, right? Like part of the entertainment is seeing how much like diehard fans will latch onto a series even though it's like clearly not amazing, you know? Or it's like, oh yeah, the ship's sinking, right? But they're like, oh no, the ship's fine, right? And then they continue just sitting there, right? That's how it goes. That's also part of the thing with Ruby as well, right? Because like
Oh yes.
it started majorly falling downhill, but like part of the audience was like, nope, it's getting better. It's actually better than it was last season. And I'm like, what? Or like you know,
I think
blue
the
red
first,
versus
like
blue.
the first couple of episodes when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, it's pretty good," and then it just went downhill. I'm like, "Bro, what the fuck happened?"
Didn't they just like kill everybody though?
Dude, and I'm like, "What is this?"
I mean, it's one thing in like a major anime, well, any sort of anime, where like the storyline, you know, they involve a character and whatever, and it dies and it tries to like, you know, be very emotional. It's another thing when they like kill off everyone and they're just like, yeah, this is a completely different story now. It's like, you guys, what the fuck are you doing?
Exactly. It's like, bro, what the fuck?
Another thing is like one of major Ruby's major thing is like, you know, there's like 50 different writers, right? Because like the writers like change like constantly.
Yes.
For reasons
Yes.
out of their control, you know, because like there's like actual like out of thing reason, right? But then they swap protagonists pretty much, right? Early Ruby, like what it was that guy with the shield and the sword, that dude, right?
I know what you're talking about. I don't know his name, but yeah.
Yeah. Like I think he was like the central like character we were supposed to see ourselves through because he was lame as hell, but like, you know, he got development, right? Like that was the main thing. And then like eventually they were just like, nah, he's not cool enough. We got anime girls now, right? And the anime girls, like, you know, he just kind of was sidelined, you know, which was really weird from a writing perspective, right?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not really a good series.
I have never watched Camp, and I don't remember what it's about, so I can't really say anything airy about it.
That is, I as a kid, I thought it was funny as shit. Looking back, that shit is. I did not like it.
As a kid, I watched
It's like
documentaries.
it's like watching like being in middle school and thinking fart jokes are funny. You go back and you're like, bro, what the fuck?
The difference
Like,
in
gross as
like
hell.
the difference now, right, is that adult media, quote unquote, is fart jokes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it's funny, right? Because like when I was a kid, right, the media made for kids were like dumbass as hell, right? But like
Yes.
like now, right? Even the adult media is the same, right? And like that's like American Adult Swim, quote unquote, right? And I'm like, why?
Yes.
Like who's watching this?
This is horrible. Like there might be some funny moments, but like everything else is just shit. It's like, bro, what the
Like I feel like on the one end, like American media, right? Like has always been somewhat like you know, toilet humor kind of deal, right? Like you know, Family Guy and all that. But now look at like what is it? Now look at like ooh, there's just a lot. There's just a lot. Like you know, I'm trying not to list like a common one, you know, because like yeah, but like you guys get what I mean, right? It's the same ugly ass art style.
like Rick and Morty.
Yeah, Rick and Morty is yeah, Rick and Morty has a lot of fart jokes, yeah. But like I'm thinking more like Sanjay and Craig, or like, you know, like that one where it's like I'm trying to think of the names, but I never got into any of them, which is the problem, you know, because I
What is the
can't.
premise? Do you remember the premise?
Okay, there's one where like this really ugly art style became the president or something. I don't remember. There's another one, right, where it's like, um, you can tell what's like American quote unquote adult media based
Yeah,
on the art style, can't you?
yeah.
You can tell because it's like made to look as ugly as physically possible. But
Which is crazy.
wait, let me actually search up adult cartoons. Okay, here we go. Oh no. I just searched up adult cartoons, right? The first result, 30 plus the best adult cartoons for serious humor, and the thumbnail is Family Guy. I'm not making this stuff up. Search up adult cartoons, right? And the first result is 30 plus best cartoons for serious humor, Man of Many, with Family Guy and The Simpsons as the thumbnail.
I see it.
It hurts, doesn't it?
It's another one. Top 10 adult cartoons uncensored.
Um,
Alright. Oh yeah, Big Mouth is
Big Mouth,
that's
yeah,
the
that
worst.
was one of them. Gravity Falls is
That
pretty
should have
good. South Park,
cool.
South Park, eh. I don't think it's as bad as Sanjay and Craig, but like it's still pretty weird.
I actually wasn't saw yesterday that Snoop Dogg was actually on an episode of Sanjay.
Some of these like I think are actually somewhat decent, but then when they like put in like a few of the other ones, it's like what, you know? Is American media just like this? Like is this what American media is to people?
I feel like yeah, because I feel like like in different countries they could definitely make like adult cartoons without making it look stupid and actually feel like a adult like Samurai Jack, the seasons, the latest seasons they put on Adult Swim and they made it more mature, and I felt that was like
Good.
like it's pretty it's pretty good. It's great, and it also matured with the audiences as well.
Yeah. But like, who watches this stuff? Like, do you watch it, Pluton? Do you watch like adult cartoons, quote unquote?
Depends.
Do you watch?
I used to watch Rick and Morty.
I think Rick and Morty has somewhat more of a story than like Beavis and Butthead, or like, you know, Sanjay and Craig, or like Family Guy.
I don't know what Sanjay and Craig is. Is that the weird one where the people look like eels or something?
Yeah, something like that. Or
Yes.
like Big Mouth, where Big Mouth was.
Big Mouth is so horrible. That show should have never existed.
The thing is like
fuck.
the thing is Netflix shut off like a bunch of their like original animations or whatever in lieu of like Big Mouth existing, you know, and I'm like, why, you know? Because it's like some of these actually have like purpose, right? Or like at least a central thingamajig, right? Yeah. But who? I guess you can pay people literal pennies to make these though, you know. BoJack Horseman is just development, or not development, depression. All right, and that's about it. That's about it. It's just your midlife crisis, but like sped up 50 times, right? Why is Steven Universe on the list of best adult cartoons? Because like it's decent in some parts, it's a bit weird in others, right? Like one of my central peeves with Steven Universe, right, is like I get that they're like his parents or whatever, right? Like their aunt basically of Steven, right? Like the giant gems or whatever, right? But they also did pretty much start the Holocaust in world, right? Where it's like, oh yeah, the extinction of like thousands of gems, blah 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 blah. But it's like, oh yeah, they said sorry, it's fine, you know?
I know that shit is so fucking funny. Like what the
like
but it's also at the same time it's like a kid's cartoon, so I guess they're trying to be like maybe there's good in everybody, but
Wait,
they use
you
such a
don't have the
horrible
context,
example.
do you, Pluden?
So my take on the whole like American cartoons that are adult or whatever else is that it's just humor. Like they're not making stories like you see in the Japanese animations and stuff like that. So it's never the same exact thing.
Yeah,
And
it's just
unfortunately, it's like they don't know how to make I guess adult content without being like
toilet humor.
it's toilet humor or shock content. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
That's like the main thing that sells. They can't just make like a good fucking story that has like adult themes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then if they ever do decide to do that, there has to be like gratuitous sex scenes that like make it adult, I guess. And it's like, why do you need to force this shit? Just make a good story where like people can die and there's like adult themes and stuff.
Do you think it's the American
Exactly.
audience as a whole? Like is it the people who watch like 9 to 5 like cartoons on like like their news station? You know.
I just want to say like cartoons in general just has a bad rap of being adult in general because most cartoons are just associated with kids.
Yeah.
And you can't get away from that no matter how adult they call it. It's always like has a kids type theme to it, so they never really get serious about it. If you look at even like Disney stuff, it's all like kid themed. And if you look at like other animations that are a little bit more adult, it's like it's usually mixed between kids or adult. Like I don't know what a good one is, Despicable Me or something like that as an example of movie.
Yep. But
where kids like it, but then there's like more advanced stuff where adults would have a good time watching it too.
Yeah.
There's never anyone that's like, I don't know. I wouldn't even know what to call it. It's like Lord of the Rings animation or something like that. That's that was a completely original, not based off the books or something that like did very well.
Do you think one of the problems might be that like most people who watch like adult cartoons don't have the time to like sit around and watch like every episode? So like they can't really like do heavy story stuff?
I don't think so. I think it's been proven from a lot of like really popular just like regular shows where they have regular people, it's not animations.
Yeah.
That episodal stuff for adult just doesn't mix.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I'll say that that's not true at all. For like there's like a really good show like Game of Thrones, which obviously you need to watch it episode to episode. You won't tell what the hell's going on. And then there's also really great shows like, let's say, Star Trek Next Generation or something like that. That has like certain adult themes and everything, but is extremely episodic. You could miss 20 episodes and just be like, yeah, I can watch the next one.
Yeah. Like I think some of the the peak would be like 2017 for like like Cartoon Network or whatever, because like you had like Adventure Time, you had like regular show, you had like a bunch of like you had like what else? You had
I had the Amazing World. Was Amazing World Gumball?
Amazing World Gumball was around that time too, right? Like that general like time, I feel like there was a lot of like good, like still child orientated, but like they still had like more serious themes,
Yeah, they could have serious themes. Yeah, I feel like also it's just that, like Pluto said, animation as a whole is kind of it's seen as a kid thing, and I feel like most like people are like, oh, you'll grow up out of it. Animation is only for kids, and you'll be an adult and you'll never look back or some shit like that. And
Ari asked, how about Hell of a Boss? I actually haven't seen much of it. I've seen like people like discuss it on like Twitter, and like it's either a controversy or they love it, right? But I don't like have enough personal experience to talk about Hell of a Boss,
I've not watched it.
Yeah.
I know. I think they're trying to also get the creators of Hell of a Boss, they're gonna try to make another the animation show as well. I forgot some of the demons as well. Ads.
DC does DC have a lot of like quote unquote overly like sexualized like stuff in their cartoons now?
I know there's one. I forgot what it was, but it was Batman and Batgirl, which is Jim Gordon's daughter or some shit, and they had sex.
Oh, I remember.
It wasn't shown, but
didn't I tell you guys about this? I literally had a giant ass rant about this.
and I was like, this is weird.
And the weirdest thing, right, is that like it was like Dick Grayson's ex or whatever, or like they were kinda a thing or kinda not. It was like on and
So
up.
it's NTR.
Yeah,
Oh,
It was weird.
I've been on
Sounds
Twitter
horrible.
enough to know what that is. Oh, Twitter's scary, man. But like, yeah, no, pretty much, yeah. Pretty much what happened, right, was like, something. Dick Grayson leaves town, right? Like he was dating Batgirl for a bit, right? He comes back to town. They have like some kind of like weird romance thing, and then Batman comes over to Dick and he's like, oh yeah, she's like 6 months pregnant or whatever, and I'm like, what? So that happened,
Fucking wild.
and then
It's just so wild.
I'm pretty sure at some part, at some part, Batman's like, what does this have to do with me? And then Dick's like, I haven't been here for like a few months, so it's like, what, you know? Batman's not a great character.
Who wrote that and said yes? Yes. Like who at Warner Bros. Was like, yes, we need to watch this film needs to be made, right?
It's not a film; it's a comic, and comics get weird
What?
because
I
like
mean,
this was one of the writers' like weird fetish stuff, where it's like, okay,
it's dumb though.
it is really hella dumb.
It's dumb.
Because you already
That should've
have a
never
bunch of
happened.
comics. You already have a bunch of comics out there describing who Batman is and whatever else, and it's like completely asexual character. There's no reason for him to have
I mean,
that.
if you've seen what he's done with like every single animal girl in like his series, like it's like
I
Cat
thought
Girl,
he had a thing with like Catwoman.
yeah,
Like a
Catwoman. Didn't he have like a thing for a bit with like Poison Ivy and like pretty much every other female character?
So
in his,
he's
like,
got a furry fetish, is what you're saying.
yeah, yes.
Yeah, that's why he
100%.
dresses up as a bat.
100%.
Batman is a furry.
I'm pretty sure. You guys remember Batman Beyond, right? Batman Beyond is a continuation of that weird plot with like Dick Grayson and and like Batgirl and like Batman, right? Because notice how Dick Grayson and Batman never really interact.
Oh,
Yeah, like it's canonically said afterwards, and I'm like, bro, I'm pretty sure that's a bit where like the few scenes where they fight, right? I'm not sure if they did have scenes, but like I'm pretty sure if there were scenes, they weren't on good terms, But yeah, some of the interpretations of Batman I don't like. I like some of like the more experimental one shot things though, like the White Knight one where a Joker gains sanity or whatever and just lures up against Batman and be like, oh yeah, this guy's an asshole, because like the thing about Batman, right, is he really never like he just beats up like mentally insane people and then never really takes care of them afterwards, right? It's like, oh yeah, toss them into this prison where everyone escapes every other day, right? And never do anything about it, right? But then but then once like the Joker gets like his like pills which actually work for him and he gains sanity, he pretty much just has a lawsuit against Batman. It was like actually pretty cool, right? I like the one shots. I don't like the main continuity because I feel like it gets bloated after a while, right? Because like you can restart with like normal old Batman, right? But eventually you're gonna be like, oh yeah, he killed a god, right? I'm like, what?
Well, why doesn't Batman just work at like a retirement home
I don't know, man.
They really should.
and just beat up the elderly?
Honestly, he should just fix Gotham City. He has the money to do it. He really like. Alright, guys, this is
The entire point of like the Joker movie itself, right, was that like people don't get enough money for like mental health facilities inside of town, right? But the thing is, Batman could have fixed that,
Yeah, easily. Like, alright, guys.
like the cost of developing a suit is probably enough to like at least give people basic mental health care,
Yeah,
right?
he got a fuck ton of. He had a whole cave full of gadgets under his mansion. He definitely has some money to spend for that town.
He could spend some money on like therapists for everyone, right? Like easily.
He You're like, hey guys, every Donald Tuesday in Gotham City will have a free therapy sessions for every citizen.
Yeah. Or like in general infrastructure, because 99% of like his villains aren't even like bad people. Like Mr. Frost is literally just there because he needs to like keep his like cryo thing up and like research like cures for his like his wife, right?
His
No, he
wife,
doesn't.
right?
He could just give up.
That's true. He
So
could just give up, right? But like Batman
He
could have
could.
literally solved his entire villain arc by being like, here, yeah, take the money, like take the money, cure your wife.
And
Right?
I know I was like, I don't know Two Face's like whole origin, but he's like a friend of Bruce Wayne, I think, as well. And then he got in some freak accident.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he got like in some like acid thing, and like all you need is like
Uh-huh.
mental health therapy, you know?
Why not just plastic surgery?
Plastic surgery as well. Yeah, I was about to say it's a bit about trauma therapy and plastic surgery. Good as new.
Yeah. Or not good as new, but like like better.
Better than what he is.
But then like if you look at like a bunch of his other villains, it's like Catwoman. I don't think you can fix, right? Because she's one of her
She's
core
just a
things is she's just a
serial
kleptomaniac, right? Where she likes stealing, right? Because
Yes.
like she gets with Batman a bit, but then she's like, oh, I like stealing. Then Batman's like, I like catching you, and I'm like, bro, you know, or that's their entire dynamic, right? And I'm like, well, what's happening here, man? But like other like I don't think you can fix her, right? You could only like kind of chain her down for a bit, right? But like
Yeah.
but like 99% of the people you could fix with like basic health and mental health care, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Harley Quinn, right? She's pretty messed up, but at the same time, she just needs like good therapy. Like literally her entire thing was like she was a therapist, right? She yeah. She was like a therapist, but like
Joker.
yeah, and it's like super weird.
She just needs a bullet to the head.
Or therapy. Therapy would also help. Yeah, there's a parody of her being normal.
You said she was a therapist. How's a therapy gonna help her?
Because the thing is, therapists have their own therapist. Because like most therapists do end up like getting their own therapist to help them. Because you can't diagnose yourself with things, you know.
You can.
You can,
People
but it's
do all
not
the
like
time.
it's not a good idea.
I do it all the time.
It's true though.
I mean, like doctors aren't supposed to diagnose themselves either.
But they do.
They're not supposed to.
if they have the knowledge, if you like, some
Dude.
lines up.
You tell me if there's like a good doctor, they don't run tests on themselves when they feel like something's wrong.
They probably do.
Just go to somebody for just like verification or second opinion or something like that. But like most doctors specialize, but if it's within their field, I don't see why not.
The problem is like if let's say I get a random bump and it's probably a bug bite, but I'm a doctor like who deals with like a bunch of like cancer patients, I'm gonna be like, yeah, no, that's cancer. You know, like people aren't logical when they're dealing with themselves or their family, you know? That's why a lot of doctors don't that's why doctors aren't supposed to diagnose their family either, you know, because it gets a bit weird. Because like it gets more personal, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you add that personal element into things, it's a bit hard to like do rational like decision making, right?
I know lawyers aren't supposed to represent their family or anyone they're like anything if they're close at all to the case.
Because they have like a bias to that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you know.
So that makes sense.
Yeah. Like I could not I guarantee you if I was a doctor, I would diagnose myself with everything in the book as soon as I had a cold. But maybe that's just
oh my
me.
God, I'm dying tomorrow.
Well, diagnosing yourself is one thing, but treating yourself is completely different. The regular diagnostic, I think anybody can try and diagnose themselves, even if they're not a doctor.
Yeah,
or something.
you can do a general diagnosis, but like, yeah, definitely not treating yourself with stuff. But then again, you can't treat yourself with therapy either in the same logic, you know?
I think you can.
You'll talk to yourself in the mirror.
That might be worse for your mental health.
Like, if you understand the basic therapy techniques and stuff like that, you can basically give yourself therapy by thinking about those things. Because most of the time, like the actual sessions in therapy is just like getting you to look at things from a different perspective, or stepping back and giving you different advice to try and help yourself solve those problems. It's usually not up to the therapist to fix stuff for you. It's for you to basically fix stuff on your own.
Yeah, but at the same time, a lot of the methods people use are like just talking things out and all that kind of stuff, right? But like, don't talk to yourself to fix your therapy of you having multiple personality disorder, you know?
Yeah, that's a little bit more than therapy.
That's a little bit more than therapy, yeah.
That needs some heavy drugs.
That's why we need robots to do everything for us. No emotions. Maybe not therapy though, because I feel like therapy is like also like a very personal thing, right? Whereas like
for therapy.
whereas like if you're talking to a robot about your feelings, then that feels a bit impersonal, doesn't it? Maybe if they normalize it, you know.
Well,
Yeah, therapist robot.
You
would just
fix
be
the
like-
problem if you do this shit logically.
A robot therapist would just be like, I've heard enough of this shit, and unplugs himself.
I'm tired of this shit.
Another problem with like just like like therapizing yourself is like another part of therapy is some people just need someone to talk to or like vent to a lot of time too, you know. Where it's like, oh yeah, talk like they don't need any help. They're like fine, but they just need
like,
someone, you know, who they can like vent
it's like
to.
showing a magician magic tricks, and they're like, I already know how to do that shit. that shit doesn't surprise me.
I prefer shock therapy. No.
Yeah, it's the worst kind of therapy.
So the problem is people still do shock therapy in the modern day, like especially in places which like
is horrible.
like isn't it like Autism Speaks or something that still does it in the modern day, and like it's like a charity which is like horrible. Yeah.
I know Autism Speaks was like not a good charity from what I've heard, but
Yeah.
I don't know, there's also like conversion therapists.
Oh, conversion therapy is horrible.
Are still around, which is I don't understand, but yeah.
Fair enough, Eric. So wait, were any of you guys into Power Rangers during like the 90s?
I was not bored.
Or like were you into like the original season of Power Rangers, like Mighty Morphin?
Probably watched a few episodes.
Do you remember Billy from like
core.
do you remember Billy, like the Blue Ranger from the first season?
He sounds familiar, yeah.
Well, pretty much they continued with like the later series too. He went through like 3 or 4 seasons and like 5, like he went all the way until Turbo, right? Where it's like the season with the cars or whatever, right? So he went like through like the main season, Ninja Rangers, all that stuff, right? The reason why he left, right, was that people were making fun of him for being gay, right? So he went through like a giant mental health crisis, right? And then what happened, right, is that like the directors and everything were actually like harassing him for being gay. So he was just like, nope, I'm leaving. He went through a bunch of like a bunch of like attempts at like conversion therapy and everything for himself, and like now he's like just like he's just a pride advocate, which I think is pretty cool. But at the same time, it's really messed up what happened to him, man. Like it's really messed up what happened to him, and like it was literally like
cast of Power Rangers, like a bunch of fuck up stuff happened to them.
Yeah, like the first Red Ranger and the Yellow Ranger, I'm pretty sure, right? They left because they wanted better pay, right? And then they wrote them out in the script, and their characters kind of just went over to do charity work? Overseas.
Sounds about right.
like they had an episode where the characters were actually written out, right? But the thing for David Craigston, I think that's his name, David Craigston, like the actor Billy, right? He was never told that his character was being written out. He left, right? And then they just wrote an episode where it's like, oh yeah, Billy went to another planet to marry alien girl. That's what actually happened.
Yeah.
In real life?
No. In the series.
Yeah, he went to go marry an alien girl. The aliens beating them up, and Billy was like, guys, I can't be a Power Ranger
like
anymore.
He didn't know what happened to Billy's character until he watched the episode, because they never cared to tell him. It's really messed up, but like they just completely wrote him out, and I'm like, bro,
That's why unions exist nowadays.
Isn't Power Rangers like one of those shows that was just brought over from Japan though?
No,
Yeah.
it has completely different characters. Everything. It
Oh,
uses the
I thought it
footage.
was originally. I thought. Oh, does it? I was
Yeah,
about to
it
say.
uses the footage from Super Sentai. However, the plot and everything is completely separate. They build around
Yeah.
like the fighting footage, but like the stories are actually really different.
Okay.
Yeah,
But I just feel like it's like another one of those examples, just like Crunchyroll, where like the Americanized Japanese show, like everyone gets fucked over except for like the producers or the owners.
It's all back to Crunchyroll. Fuck Crunchyroll.
There's just a history of doing that.
the weirdest thing about like Power Rangers versus Super Sentai, right, is that their plots are completely different. Like in the what is it, like the ninja rate thingamajig, right? It was like, oh yeah, they're like a completely separate season, right? But in Power Rangers, it's like, oh yeah, they're the same cast as last season, but they got new powers because of thingamajig happening, right? So it's like, yeah, no, it's completely different. Yeah, technically, if you're born in outer space, you are an alien. But then again, if you're in another country, you're also an alien, like from another country.
Legally.
Because like
Yeah.
the word alien just means you're from somewhere else, you know. So
Yeah,
it's
you
like,
saw somewhere else that
yeah,
I don't know.
Like Zeta Reticuli.
I don't know what that
Belonging to a
means.
foreign country.
Oh, that's where the
nation.
gray aliens are from.
Oh, okay. But
I had
yeah,
a cousin that was a gray alien.
surprisingly enough, something I only learned like this year or the last year, right, was like the original Yellow Ranger, who was actually Vietnamese, and I'm like, damn, Vietnamese representation in acting. But I digress, you know. Because like name one Vietnamese actor. Like you can't.
I'll look one up. Famous Vietnamese actor.
I'm waiting to see if you actually know any of them.
Kehu Kwan.
Ooh,
Dustin Nguyen. Is that how you say it?
who?
Nguyen?
What is he in? Also,
Let me
that's
look.
Nguyen. Nguyen.
Is it Nguyen? Okay, my bad.
Nguyen. It's one syllable.
Okay.
Nguyen. Yeah, it's like a tone thing as well as like, you know, a pitch thing.
Okay.
Yeah, because Vietnamese is a
Uh,
tonal language, so like, you know, the way you pronounce
Okay.
things is like very complicated.
Jackpot. It's a movie.
Who?
Uh, I,
We need
I think-
Pepe
I
for
think
this.
Die
Do you
Triangle.
want, do you want American or like
I mean, like, do you know
Vietnamese
any?
actors and Americans?
Yeah, like Vietnamese actors in like American films or whatever. Like, do you know any?
Okay. It's not off the top of my head. I can look.
I don't know.
I'm not really big on actors anyway.
That's true. I don't get people who are like big fans of actors because like aside from
Yeah,
like
no,
like
I'm
the, like the
not.
big shots who would pretty much direct their own movies, right? Like you know like there's some people who like, you know, they have like a narrative speak on like the movie, right? Where it's like, oh yeah, if he's part of the movie, it's gonna be this kind of action buster kind of thingy majig, right? But like aside from those guys, I'm like, oh, it's an actor. They literally say the lines. Yeah, I get they're hot, but like, why are you a fan of them? You know?
Oh, I'm gonna say his name, Jonathan. I'm gonna put second. Is it Kehu Kwan? Butcher the fuck out of
What the hell?
Anyway, he played in Indiana Jones and Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, okay. So he's actually in something, but we don't know what he does,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think I make the point pretty clear that it's
Exactly.
hard to find like Vietnamese representation, you know?
Oh yes, yes.
That's why if I ever become an actor, I'm gonna say I'm Chinese. I'm kidding. I'm a
Everybody
fourth
asks you to
Chinese.
speak Chinese and you speak Vietnamese.
They won't be able to tell the difference. That's the thing.
Except the Chinese people.
Oh, there's gonna be multiple Chinese people on set. Ah, damn.
Yeah. I'd be like at least 5. It's the bare minimum they can have now. Like I get the representation, so
Speaking of which, have you seen Blizzard's like their what is it called?
Um,
Their
I've looked at Blizzard since all that shit with
wait, you remember it though, right? You know what I'm talking about, like their diversity like judgment kind of thing, where they have like a graph
yes,
of like how diverse you are as a character.
yes. Shit funny as fuck.
What?
I don't, why would they have that? Who?
So basically, you know like stat tables, right? Where it's like like the way people
Okay.
represent states in games like RPG with like your
Yeah.
dex, your health and everything.
Mhm.
They made one for characters, but instead of like dex, health, like dex, endurance, and all that kind of stuff, right? It
Yeah,
was like how racially diverse you were, how like sexually diverse you were, how like ethnically diverse you were, and all that kind of stuff. It's like
yes,
it's literally like tokenizing like a minority. It's like the extreme, you know?
it is. It is.
I want to see how many points you get for being something. Because there's like some sort of stat table in the back that's like, oh, it's got the lesbian flag that's like five plus points in diversity.
Um,
This is a picture I found.
we should turn it into RPG and then rate ourselves and see who's the most powerful character.
I don't know the points though. I don't see the points.
Blizzard
It's-
diversity tool.
Because they want to say they have the most diverse and inclusive game. Win some points for something. I don't know who actually pays attention to that shit, but people do.
Oh, Blizzard has a news post on it. Here we go. They have an official post on Activision Blizzard. The King's Diversity Space Tool. That doesn't sound like a very diverse title, though.
There's no way they actually have it on the website. Oh my god. Was Blizzard bought out by Microsoft, right?
Yeah, they were brought out by Microsoft.
Yeah.
I'm looking for one of those BuzzFeed quest questionnaire thingamajigs right now, where it's like,
Question answered, they haven't.
oh,
How diverse of a character am I?
All right. See, they say shit like the objective of the tool is to uncover unconscious bias, but like I've heard arguments saying that
it's the opposite.
you can't be biased if you're unconscious about it, because bias needs to have a conscious thought.
I mean, I feel like you can be biased even if you're unconscious about it, because like like people do like treat you
you can be
differently just
taught.
because of your
Yeah.
Well, then again, I go around being like King Chong, I'm Asian, but I mean, for other people, right? I definitely do notice people just treat people substantially different based off like like the way they outwardly present themselves,
But isn't that normal?
Somewhat, but at the same time, when you're in a corporate setting, that's a bit different, Like
corporate, you're supposed to dress a certain way and like act a certain way. If you act outside of that, of course, people are going to treat you differently.
That's true, but people still treat you differently just because of your skin color, even if it's unconscious,
That's true.
I think that's conscious for a lot of people.
It is
feel like-
conscious
like-
for a lot of people, but it's also unconscious for a lot of people too.
I think it could be unconscious as well, yeah. I think people can
How?
Because like,
like if you were a kid and let's say you see your dad or whatever treat black people in a certain way and you don't know why, but you're like, oh, so that's just how we treat black people, okay?
But that's a
because of my
conscious
dad,
thought.
so that's
well, you can
but
take
you
that
don't
as
know why. It's not really
Not knowing why
You
doesn't
don't-
mean
you
that's
don't
not a conscious
understand.
thought. Like if you treat people a certain way because you've been taught that way, then that's a conscious thing. Even if it's
I mean, they were never taught. It's like they take it from example, it's
that's teaching though.
is it? I mean, like,
Sure. When you learn how to ride a bike and some person shows you how to do it, you learn by example, and learning by example is like one of the prime ways of learning in general.
saying racist slurs in your sleep. Harry's onto something. I think we got it. We gotta record ourselves when we sleep and
Like, I get the idea that your subconscious is somehow inducing you to have biases against people that you're not aware of, But honestly, not being aware of and not thinking about it are two different things. Not aware of means like you don't even know. Like, oh, I was never taught that, but somehow I'm acting like this. But humans aren't like that. We don't have any instincts to do stuff. Every single.
I mean, I'm not saying it's
thing is taught.
instinctual. I'm saying it's like it's something they do like unconsciously. Like they're not purposely trying to like go out of their way to like do something, but it's like
Instinct
somewhere.
Is that an instinct?
it's not really instinct, right? It's slightly
Well,
different.
wanting to eat is not an instinct.
Wanting to avoid starving is though.
But wanting to eat, is it?
I don't like eating, to be honest with you, man.
I mean, that's kind of like a.
I feel like there's a primal instinct for everything.
There's a lot of chemical reactions when it comes to eating and feeling hungry and stuff. It's not just a mental thought.
I think
But it's instinct to react to the stimuli of being hungry, right? I guess. I mean, babies have instincts, right? Or else they'd all starve and die.
Yeah, but you know how like certain signals can be like completely taught wrong? Like you can learn to love pain and shit like that, so you can overwrite those if you learn it a certain way.
I feel like if you're a baby, you try to get food.
You can also you can also
oh yeah, like, this feeling hungry. Oh, this shit feels good.
So taking an extreme example of feeling hungry, I think a long time ago you can read about this. There was like circuses and there were people that would like
starve themselves. Yeah,
as a show.
Yeah,
and
I've seen this.
30 days without eating or some shit like that. And I would think that like, you know, if you're gonna do that, they got to somehow reprogram their hunger from being like painful or very discomforting to something that they can deal with.
Yeah, it's also part physiologically. After you starve for X amount of days, your pain is different than if you were starving for like 2 days. You know, because your body enters like another state where it's like starvation mode, right? So you're not feeling like constant pain, right? When you're starving like that, it's just gonna be very uncomfortable, because like lack of mood and all that kind of stuff. But that stuff is easier to ignore. So like if you are starving, don't starve like don't eat every other day, because that's gonna actually make it worse. No, just try not starving. Thank you. But I feel like you can even teach a dog to resist its instincts if you do enough psychological like training, right? I feel like think of instincts as something that you can't ever change or like teach yourself out of is a bit wrong,
Yeah, but I mean, just instincts as something that you don't need to be taught, that you know how to do something. You can always change that later on, but I don't think humans have that type of capability in general.
Yeah.
Apparently, we have an instinct to fear snakes and spiders.
They're pretty terrifying, man.
As young children, it says like it was found in 6-month-old babies.
I guess there could be spiders, but there must be something that's like passed down through some sort of genetic mechanism.
That one was because it's just, I think it's just because our ancestors got fucked up by snakes.
There's one thing I know, right, is that like people like subconsciously end up like slightly liking people who look like themselves or the people they were raised around a bit more than people like they've never encountered before, so like people who are like who are from like very like what is it called, homogeneous like area where there's like only one kind of person, right? If they encounter someone outside, even if they've never heard of that person before, they would be like, yo, what the hell are you, or like treat them a bit differently, even if not a bad way,
But isn't that normal?
It's normal, yes, but it is a biases.
I mean,
yeah,
again, that's probably the same thing that's based off of like snakes back in the day. Is humans used to live in like family groups, and if there was like outsiders, it would be kind of a weird thing.
Yeah, the diversity tool on Blizzard, I'm pretty sure, is in the method of of like how like if you're like from like the 90s, right, and you're reading media from like J.K. Rowling, right, or like Harry Potter, everyone's gonna be white because like that's all she's ever interacted with, like that kind of biases where it's like, oh yeah, if she had a tool where it's like, oh yeah, you don't have enough what is it, you don't have enough like Asian people in your writing, right, like you have like written out, that can avoid that said biases,
but why would you want to do that?
I don't know, corporate stuff. It's like
it's sort of a weird thing because I mean, if all you know is, let's say, white people, and all your made up characters in a fictional world are white people, if you just start including like other types of races, you wouldn't understand their cultures, you wouldn't understand anything. You'd probably make a lot of gaffes into what they say and do and whatever
that
else, and
is
end up pissing
very
off a lot more
true, but
people.
like the reason why Blizzard has the tool is because they're trying to pander to other like subcultures, right?
Yeah,
Where it's
they
like,
shouldn't be
oh,
pandering.
yeah, I don't like it either, but like I get why it's
No,
there
yeah,
from a
pandering
corporate
is bad.
standpoint, but it's like it's kind of weird, man. But like, you know, whenever you see a character shoehorned in with like a bunch of like, what is it called, stereotypes, right? It's probably there to fill out a metric to like seem progressive, because you know some people are gonna be like, oh, it's being so progressive by including this person, even though they're a living like stereotype, you know. Like ask Blizzard, why do you have 3 ninjas from Japan? All your Japanese characters are ninjas. Like is anyone wondering? like why are all the Japanese characters, all the Asian characters, are like basically ninjas? You know, it's like, okay.
I should have made one into a rice farmer.
But yeah, no, the diversity thing is actually a very interesting subject, because like, you know, I feel like pretty much everyone's outraged at it, but for different reasons, you know. Because like some people are like, oh, I don't like minorities, right? But then there's the other ones who's like, oh yeah, no, this is the complete opposite way to have representation for people, right? And then there's other people are like, oh no, this is just a stupid ass system in general, right? And like there's 50 viewpoints, but all of them hate it, you know. It's like the people who hate diversity hate it, the people who like diversity hate it. Literally the worst idea ever, you know.
We should all destroy all mega corporations.
Shorting mega corporations would not help, because shorting only works if their stock is going down, you know, because that continues their downward trend. What you need?
Blow them up. We gotta blow them up. Fuck every corporation. Blow them up. Can't stop.
Corporations are just made of people.
Corporations are made of numbers.
All right, we gotta blow up numbers. No more numbers. There we go.
Blow up numbers.
Blow up the numbers.
It's gonna alter the law of physics, and math will not be as consistent as it is.
We're gonna fuck up the whole system.
Yeah.
Mankind will no longer know numbers after we're done. Oh.
I feel like this is a very American issue to have, though, like that forced diversity, right? Because it's like, on one end, it's forced as hell and no one likes it, right? But on the other end, corporations like it because it makes them seem progressive, and by seeming progressive, they can take advantage of like more subsets of people, you know? Because like you guys have seen what happens whenever, like, you know, Pride Month comes around, everyone goes to the rainbow, but the day after they turn it off, right? All the companies put it on like that, you know, the pride flag, because it makes them seem progressive, right? Same thing with like including characters of different races or different sexualities or whatever. Because like you never like from what I've noticed, you almost never get a well-written like different, like, you know, like non-traditional like gender character in like large media, right? They're always a walking stereotype where they pretty much scream, oh, I am this sexuality, right? Where they're like every bad stereotype combined, right? Or like it's the same thing with race as well, right? Like, you know, these are like check marks on their thing for gaining more money, not like things which they consciously do or like unconsciously do to try helping people, you know? Which is interesting, right? Because economics is a cold-hearted being. It doesn't care about your feelings, and even more so because of that, right? When they try to pander to feelings, it's all because of economics and not because they actually care. Companies don't care.
I just wish they would go back to staying neutral on everything. Like, I don't fucking care if a place where I buy a burger from is pro or anti something. It's so stupid. Just fucking sell me the burger and shut up. Here's
Let's
my
go,
money.
Costco.
That's what it should be.
Costco is great about that, because like, when do you ever hear anything about Costco? Never.
And that's the way it should be, because either way, they're just like,
they're gonna sell me a burger either way, you know?
Yeah, well, either way, it's just kind of dumb. It always pisses off somebody, regardless of whichever move they do. And acting as progressive just to pander and try and make more sales, has it ever been proven as like an actual viable method?
I mean,
I
yes,
don't know.
like definitely during like
Maybe.
Pride Month and everything, right?
There's people out there that's like, oh yeah, Coke had a fucking pride flag. I'm gonna buy a Coke now.
But
I
you're not
don't
telling
think
me
so.
it doesn't bring headlines, though. You know,
Sure, it brings headlines, but because it's controversial on the whole thing.
yeah, that's true. But like, yeah, no, companies obviously aren't doing it just because it's like just because they want to, though. You know,
Like I remember,
I
didn't
remember
Coke have like something in the headlines about like
having
try
Coke.
and be less white or something like that
What?
in their employee training? Yeah, look it up.
What the hell? That is pretty dang weird. Not gonna lie, man.
You remember the Pepsi commercial with it was like Khloe Kardashian with some of the what's her name for the Kimball dinner and the protest, and she stopped the protest by giving the cops a
Oh
Pepsi.
yeah, I remember that. Also
That
for
shit was funny as
context, for anyone who's reading like the thing and hasn't been like following along with us, Starly here is black, so like he can say that kinda, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
I can
Posted,
kind of say
Like,
posted
like,
the article in
like the
yeah.
thing like Starly, imagine someone like coming in and seeing you write that comment in the chat as a mod without any context.
yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah, no, that makes sense.
that's the extra context there.
I'm not
But
racist, guys. Please don't cancel me.
in modern American media, you do notice a lot of characters are involved just because like they're X race or
They
like
are no, it's and I kind of don't like it. Like I get it. Like if they're trying to make a point for something, and like let's say a certain race is treated this way, and they're trying to show in their show or whatever that you shouldn't treat them that way because of X, Y, and Z reasons. I understand
if
it,
it's intentional
but
like
don't be
that, but
like,
like
this man's black because we got black followers. Don't do
because
that.
he's a
That's not.
gangster. You
That's,
know?
yeah, don't play the stereotypes either. Just
Don't play the stereotypes.
He likes rap music.
exactly like
But if
he's black, so he has to like rap music. He lives in the hood. X, Y, Z.
I feel like
Don't be that
I
man.
feel like some like you know like having your character like rap and be black is fine, but you also have to like represent like other people who aren't just the
Yeah,
stereotype too, you know?
yeah,
Like because some
yeah,
people
yeah.
are like a bit closer to stereotype than others, right? Because like yeah,
Mhm.
but
But
like
let me
not
ask this:
everyone's like
Like
that.
there's a quote unquote stereotype for a reason.
why do you need representation?
That is a good question. I feel like a part of it
So
is like
that
from the
people
economic point of
can.
view, right? And the other
I
is
just
like,
feel like
you know, just because people want to be represented in media. Because like, you
yeah,
know,
just so you can be because I like originally black people were not at all shown in TV shows or media
and when they
at all
were, it
for the
was
longest time. Yeah, and if they were, it was white people dressing
dressed
up
up
as
as
black people
yeah.
and playing on their stereotypes. So I can understand why
That was a really long time ago.
eventually
Yeah.
I need. But yeah, but even still, I feel like if you just cut it, be like, all right, black people have been in media for like 10 years. All right,
Yeah.
we can stop casting or like whatever.
I mean, back in the past, like in the Shakespearean days, men used to dress up as women. There used to be no women actors, as far as I know.
That's
Exactly.
true.
Like,
I think that's a bad
now
thing, you know?
women have actually, yeah, I think like eventually women were allowed to be in plays, which I was like, that's good. So I can understand why people want to be represented because
Yeah.
they want like they want their kids to be like, oh, I can be that as well. I could be an actor. I could be a firefighter or blah blah blah.
I feel like
Not
another part of it is
it's not
like the way Disney
specific
represents
to
things,
race.
right? Where it's like, oh, if you're ugly, you're a villain, right? Or like if you're like poor, you're evil or something like that, right? Like Disney is chronically on the side of the prettiest character is always the protagonist and the ugliest character is always the villain who's like an old hag or something, right?
So
Right?
true.
I feel like that's like a bad form of representation and is like what a lot of the metrics are like a lot of like the politics behind like the metrics are supposed to try avoiding in the first place, right?
Mhm.
But like that's like, you know, that's a talk about like good representation versus bad representation, or like how like every Russian in like old like spy movies was like a villain, or like 90s movies in general, you know. A lot of the representation stuff's about like, oh yeah, no, not everyone's a horrible person, you know, or like, oh yeah, they're actual characters, and so blah 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 blah. But then like the media, who the people who are trying to force this like, you know, progressive, or not progressiveness, but like fake diversity, right? They're using stereotypes, or they're like half-assing it, right? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they just put in the character in there just to be there. Nothing
Yeah, just
else.
to be there. Because like
yeah,
they're
just tokens basically.
exactly
Yeah,
that
yeah.
tokenization.
That's a problem with forced representation, quite
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, I'm
is
against
that
it.
all you care about is metrics and stuff. You don't care about like telling the stories. That's
Yeah.
kind of a weird thing, because I think they'd really like. I don't think a good story needs to be forced to do anything. It's just a
Yeah.
good story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why Blizzard is the villain, because they're forcing diversity when there doesn't need to be. But like, it would be great if there was
I think it's
diversity, but like,
reasons because they're duelists, but
it would be great if they could have the diversity on their own, because of, oh, it's a cool character to make or whatever, right? But like, if it's like, oh yeah, we're making this character because it pushes the number buttons and makes our stockholders happy, that's kind of weird, man, you know. I
Yeah,
think
well,
I think that's also like
that's
an
something to
intent
do,
versus
you
like an intent versus like actions kind of thing, because
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
action of having diversity is great, but if your intent is to make money from it, all right, that's a bit weird, you know. Such a complicated issue, American politics, you know, in the modern day.
Hell yeah.
Anyways,
Can't
no
wait-
more
can't
VTuber
wait.
representation. No VTubers are allowed here. We don't like
No
VTubers.
VTubers representation. We're
You're
tired
the
of
only VTuber on the stream right now.
we hate
We're all
token
PNG tubers.
Damn.
Fuck virtual VTubers. Oh, we only need PNG VTubers in any kind of media from now. Alright. We're gonna rate someone.
Yeah, let's rate someone. This was a very in-depth discussion, you know. Yeah, you gotta treat your characters like people and not stereotypes, because that leads to character like tokenization, right? And you also gotta like you also gotta like be aware of like the setting and everything as well, right? Because like sometimes, you know, if you force characters into a setting even though they have like no right to be, like I do not want a, like, you know, like a bunch of like random people in like, what is it, like the 800s of like, you know, Europe. You know, like if you're having a medieval thing, like please do not like force 50 billion like other races into it, you know, because that's a bit weird. Maybe one
Don't
or
they
two.
do that?
I mean, some people do.
All right, but what do you think about The Last Samurai being white?
That sounds a bit weird, man.
You never saw that movie?
I've never seen that movie.
Oh,
I don't
fine.
watch movies. You guys know this.
Well, it was an old ass movie.
Same. That sounds familiar.
I mean, it was a good movie. It was just kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Okay, remember, take a book from Blizzard. Only all Japanese people are ninjas. That is all.
A book from Blizzard, treat women as property.
Wait, what? Don't do that. Wait, did Blizzard ever actually do that?
So
Oh,
everyone.
oh yeah, no, they had a
Yeah,
bunch
do you
of
not
sexual
remember?
harassment things. Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
Whenever you meet somebody, you should give them a diversity stat.
Uh,
Alright, how gay are you?
one of the things, right, is one of Blizzard's is like, what is it, co-COs or whatever, right? Because they got two COs quit because they felt like they were only hired because the corporate wanted like a female CO for diversity reasons.
That sounds right.
That sounds about
That sounds about right. Yeah,
That sounds about right.
it's all about context.
Dang, it's big.
We need more people from Pluto in our media though, right, Pluton?
More
need-
people from Pluto. Let's
I'm enough.
No, you're right. No Pluto.
I
No.
need at least 5 Jupinarians in my.
Yeah. More representation for.
They're all fat from Jupiter.
Uh, in theory, if you were from a place with different gravity, you would have like the same amount of like mass because like people who go to space have like less bone mass because they don't need as much to support their weight, right? So they have to like work out harder.
What
So,
do
like,
you what didn't they like say like people were born on Mars they'd be, like taller or some shit and their eyes would be larger to like absorb more sunlight.
I mean
Eh,
the thing about like sunlight does make sense, but like the thing about like their larger size doesn't really, because like that would also
Uh,
depend on like oxygen, because like the reason why
uh,
insects got so small was because of oxygen and all that, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah, being bigger doesn't like if you could be bigger, it doesn't necessarily mean you will become bigger, right? Because
Uh,
like for humans, like evolutionarily, right? There's not much difference between like taller people and shorter people. It's all about
uh,
like diet and everything else, right? Gravity doesn't really affect
yes,
that.
yes,
Um,
well,
yes.
mm,
I don't know. I think gravity kind of has.
it
Yeah,
kind of
it's not
has
being
it,
that.
right? But
I,
like,
I I
you,
think if gravity is almost the same as Earth, you're going to get very equivalent humans, given
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
nutrition. But
yeah,
on some place like I think the moon is like an eighth gravity of
I
Earth
think
or
so.
it
worse.
might be slightly different, but it's not gonna be like crazy
Yeah,
different because like
I,
our
I
size is
think
also because of like evolutionary reasons, like humans would not work if they were like 8 foot tall because like it's not good for food efficiency and all that kind of stuff. It's not good for food
like giant
efficiency.
stuff. I mean, like
um
Peloton.
yeah, but I'd say like in an actual case where you have somebody who was born and went through like puberty
oh,
on
like someone who was like just
Yeah,
our genes over
raised.
there, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
they would.
like throughout their life, I think they would grow bigger because the human body has evolved to withstand gravity on Earth,
Yeah,
uh, and
yeah.
you know
I was thinking it
it's
from like the like, oh, if they evolved on another planet, like like if there was a race of people from
yeah,
Pluto,
yeah.
who evolved,
uh,
right? But yeah, no, if humans went over there, maybe. Although, the higher gravity might just make their bones so weak, you know?
yeah, they definitely have problems if they ever got off the moon or anything
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think they
they
would be
come
able
back.
to adapt on the moon, but they'd probably be taller than humans
Yeah.
on Earth just because the down forces when they were growing in bone growth would just be
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think humans might like grow taller just because their genes aren't made for that. So that's more of like a deformity than anything else from the way they grow up, not like a plus.
I don't think
I
it'd be
mean,
a deformity because it's for that environment. It'd
Yeah.
be a deformity if they went back to Earth. I understand that, but if they were like stationed in the moon
Ooh.
forever, then that's not
If
really a
someone was
deformity.
born and like born on like like the moon, and they went to Earth and they were like super tall but they couldn't stand up, that would make
They'd
like
be
like peak
crushed,
like
right?
peak like horror kind of deal, right? Where it's like, yeah, they would be like super crushed, their muscles would be weak and everything, right? But like you can totally
Yeah,
also see like a horror kind of villain who's like 50 foot tall but like just crouching down all the time, and like supporting themselves badly.
that's why like astronauts have to learn how to walk again and shit when they come back from space
Yeah.
and all that shit.
I
well,
one
that's because I think their muscles decay and the bone density goes down and
Yeah,
everything.
that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
can hardly even support themselves.
Zero gravity.
Yeah. Well, that's the main problem is there really hasn't been a lot of studies because we haven't really had any like spin gravity
Yeah.
stations up in space and stuff that we don't really know what like the lower limits of artificial gravity that's needed in order to maintain like proper bone density and
structure,
health
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what is proper bone density? Like if you're like, yeah, if you're like 10% weaker than like normal humans, I don't think that's gonna be a problem, because like you're still gonna be support your weight, right? So like,
Yeah,
what is like the minimum?
I would say minimum where it's like it's reversible if you ever came back to Earth that you can get back on your feet in like a week or two.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If
Yeah.
it becomes unreversible because it decays so much and your bones are going to shatter as soon as you come to the atmosphere, that's a major problem.
Yeah. You would also lose from like you would probably also die from what is it called? From like the G forces, because when you're entering Earth, there's like a lot more
yes.
G forces,
You fucked up so bad.
Yeah, Ari has a good point. We always imagine other aliens are more advanced than us, but what if we're the technologically advanced ones? The question comes in, if aliens find us, then they're more technically advanced. If we find them, we're more technically advanced. That's kind of how it works, right? because like the chances
But
of
what if
them,
we're the same though? And, like we developed the
if we meet each
let's
other
say
in
there's
space, we
another.
might be the same. But like the thing about have you heard of the like the greedy aliens theorem?
I think so. Explain it to us.
Basically it's a theory that like if aliens developed and like they you know they start spreading to other planets, right,
Mm-hmm.
the rate of growth at that point would be exponential, right? So if let's say
Yes.
one race of aliens you know got to space like a few like centuries before another, right, then
Uh-huh.
99% of the universe will be filled by that other alien, right? So
That is true.
the more aliens there are that like you know that meet you,
Uh-huh.
right, are likely to like you know take habitable space, right? So
Uh-huh.
I'm badly explaining this right now, but like if let's
Like,
say another alien finds us, then they're probably so much more technically advanced that there is no chance of us winning, right? But if we
uh,
find them, then you know, then they're probably not spacefaring either, because like you know they consume other parts. You know, yeah. But like there can only be so many aliens in like, or like so many races question mark types of aliens, types of sentient creatures. How do I explain this without sounding like an anti-alien xenophobe? Um,
they're gonna come back to this video when aliens come. Bro, look what this man said about our race.
I think it depends on the aliens too, because I figure there'd be expansionist aliens which fit that criteria
Yeah.
where they constantly keep on expanding, and then there would also be like
yeah,
like
that's
isolationists and stuff like that.
yeah.
That like maybe they expand to their solar system and they're just like, we'll send probes out and shit, but there's no reason to go out there and like
Yeah.
go through the void because. I mean, especially if they haven't figured out faster than light travel, or if
Yeah.
they don't have any sort of inclinations to go out there themselves, what's the point?
That's where the greedy part comes in. Like the creature which will like massively habitate the universe will always be like a creature who gets there first and also is expansionist in like policy, you know? Because like if let's say you have like an isolationist kind of you know race, right? Race, species, sentience, whatever, right? I'll just call it like species, right? If you have like expansionist species, you're more likely to fill up the universe than like you know someone who doesn't. And at that point, you're probably gonna also have better technology just with higher population and all that. And
Yeah.
as time goes on in like the lifespan of the universe, right? In theory, you're gonna reach a point where there can be no more expansionist or like greedy aliens which appear, right? Because like all the other space is filled. So the probability of us like not finding any other aliens is if we're the first one, because like you know, or like you know, if we haven't met any aliens yet, it's probably that you know we're early on, right? But being early is statistically unlikely, so you know there's that too.
I think it's a little bit more than that because if you have the chance of life to evolve and grow and to be sentient and whatever else,
Yeah.
then there's also a chance that life to grow up and be sentient. I would say that the isolationists actually have more of a chance to get out unscathed because as long as you have one expansionist, there may meet another expansionist and there might be a war between them that might wipe both each other out. So the problem is like, how do you hide from that? And I mean, there's a lot of ways to hide if they wanted to.
Yeah.
They could just create like a artificial black hole and hide inside of it, and none of the signals or whatever they're producing would ever get out of that black hole. It's basically just like a shroud.
That's true, but like if at the same time if we assume that like the population of like worlds out there, right, are like part people who are spacefaring age, right, and part who are not spacefaring age, if you're the one to find someone else before they find you, it's more likely that your technology has better like sensing or whatever else, and that you would probably win in a war, you know? I mean,
I think
imagine
eventually, let's say you find like a bunch of different primitive ones, you take them over, but as soon as you meet somebody who's like an isolationist but has much higher technology than you, and you somehow piss them off or whatever else, they may just come and wipe out all your colonies and everything, and you
That's
wouldn't even
true.
know what hit you.
Yeah.
There's it's kind of weird, and you never know exactly what might happen. There's always like a lot of science fiction about like a plague or something that spread, and they just they can't figure out the cure before they all die off.
Yeah.
Does that we'll all be dead before we find out if aliens are real?
We probably
No,
will. We probably will.
There's just a lot of like cases that might happen. Why, like the reason why we don't see aliens is because maybe the only ones alive don't actively show themselves.
That's true, or they know the horrors of the universe, you know.
That could be true.
Yeah, no, I feel
They're
like
probably
trying to find aliens by sending signals outside of our planet, it's kind of a bad idea, you know, because
Yeah.
like who knows, like if someone's able to go to our planet and they're like, oh hey, yeah, we got a spaceship who went like light years away and say hi, right? We're probably like fucked, you know, because like
Yeah, I mean,
But what if they got some nice alien babes, huh?
because like right now I think
Uh,
like if humanity came into contact with someone like another race which can reach us, right, and we haven't been able to detect it so far with all of our telescopes and everything, right, it's probably not in our best intentions to like meet them in the first place, you know.
yeah, like if we ever found like a space fleet approaching Earth, we'd probably be completely fucked.
Yeah, like even if
Because
it's like a single ship of like, you know, like a messenger or something from like the other world, right? Like they probably can like just ram our planet and blow it up, you know, if they've made it this far.
Well, I'm just thinking like the cases are, you know, they had to leave their own planet, they had to find some other place, or they want Earth's resources, which why the fuck would they want that? Quite honestly, that doesn't make any sense to me, because there's so many different planets, there's asteroids, they can mine or get anything else that they want to.
Yeah, if they're spacefaring, they probably can like terraform a planet into working, you know?
Yeah, so there'd be no reason for them to just like take over, but maybe they have the policy that if they find any sort of alien species, they figure it's a threat, they'll just wipe it out just in case.
Yeah.
That's probably the only reason why they would come over here personally.
Yeah, because like I'm pretty sure like they could probably just find a planet made of like whatever material they need, right? Or like just a planet to dump things on, or just dump things into space if they're spacefaring already, right? Like if we meet anyone, right, then we're messed up. Good night, Kay. I think that's a good place for us to raid someone too, right? We've been on like a long 1 hour and 30-minute tangent. We've been on like should we raid someone new? Who should we raid, guys? You have anyone, Bluden?
I don't know.
No.
Should we raid a random VTuber?
We can.
Raid a tuber.
VTuber.
Yeah, go on the tuber.
Yeah, that sounds weird, man. Go find a tuber.
Go find the tuber.
Okay.
Go find me one of them tubers.
Which anime girl will we simp over now? Yo, there's a dude watching sumo wrestlers right now. He's not a VTuber, but that's kind of sick. He has 88 viewers though, so if it was him and like 5 other people watching sumo wrestlers together, I'd be like, yeah, heck yeah, you know?
Yeah. We are the aliens.
There's a 32-person graduation stream that I could raid.
32.
I don't know them.
Stream?
Yeah, like their final stream ever.
You're not gonna know them for long.
That's true.
What's the point of streaming rating?
On one end, I'm like,
I don't know you, but what's up?
Happy graduation. There's a goblin VTuber with 23. I'm just scrolling down the list right now.
Is a way to view the smallest viewers to most.
There is, but I am also playing Gundam right now.
Hell yeah.
I've been trying not to be trash while I'm like multitasking.
How's that working out for you?
Oh shoot, I found another cat VTuber.
Another one?
Yeah, like Moral, right? But like cooler. Wait, this is Capybara mixed with Moral. Oh, yo? Cause it's you know how Capybara is like Capybara in a teacup, right? Or a coffee cup?
Yes.
Yeah. This person is a cat in a coffee cup.
Tell me,
Okay, yeah.
teams.
They have 9 people, so it's perfect.
Perfect.
They're playing Valorant.
Prey on the weak.
I mean, we're
Trey,
weaker
what
than
do
them.
you
What are
say?
you talking about?
We are the advanced aliens.
Wait, that could be our raid message. That can be our raid message. We are the advanced aliens. Okay, you guys ready? Everyone in the raid?
Oh man,
Why are there only 3
Maybe.
people? There were like 6 people a second ago.
They all said good
everyone
night.
left. Yeah, they say good night. They left.
Mankey said they were heading to bed. Harry left.
Damn. There we go.
You did it, boys.
Alien raid,
Raid is
let's go.
Alien raid, let's go, baby.
I should probably stop the stream now. The stream's still going on in the background right now. I'm just playing
We hear the Buna.